Welcome to another episode of The Bastard Sermon. This is one of your three hosts, Cody Hucker.
Patrick Seta.
And Luke Young.
And today, we've got on two powerful Cincinnati artists, Anthony Tank Mansfield and Danny Babcock. Give it up, boys!
Welcome
Thanks
again.
for joining us, guys.
Hell yeah, man.
What's going on, guys? Hey.
We've been really excited about this episode because we think, we love your fucking art, both of you guys. You guys are, very inspiring artists, and it's going to be very interesting to see where this goes.
I just love you.
Pull your dicks out, is what we're trying to say. We'll suck them one at a time or both in our mouths, whichever way you prefer it.
Pressure's on. Show us your dicks.
All right, there it is.
Your art is a plus. I love you.
For our listeners that aren't familiar, Anthony Mansfield, or Tank, is the sponsor of our podcast. He's a badass local artist, a good friend of ours, my former teacher. He made these glasses. We might as well put the ad read right up front. He's Kneel to No One, KNEELTONOONE.com if you want to go buy some cool shit that he's got. He's got all kinds of glasses. You got enamel pens, shirts, shit that you can commission you, right? Are you doing commissions right now, or are you on a hiatus from that?
I'm on a hiatus at the moment, so it would have to be something really cool.
Right on. It's got to be dope, guys. If you're going to email them, it better be a fucking solid idea, okay?
Yeah, but hit me up after summer. After August, the books come back open.
Right on. Heard that, man. Yeah, so that's a quick rundown. We'll get into more shit, but the quick rundown of who Tank is. And then Danny is, of course, a badass local street artist that does a shitload of great murals all around the Cincinnati area, amongst other things. I don't want to make it sound like that's the only art that you're doing, but it's the most upfront and fucking out there, and everybody can go and see it. You can go check out his mural down there at the Go Bananas Comedy Club, or down there, and you've got one on the port right now in Newport.
Oh, yeah, Newport, big lettering on the side of the place.
Yeah, man. Doing ice cream trucks, all kinds of shit. And I'm fucking excited to get you two in a room together. It seemed relevant because, we know Danny through Mansfield because we had Mansfield on first, and then he was like, you got to get this fucking dude on because he's a legit artist. He was like, hit him up, and it all worked out. We had a great episode with you guys, and I was fucking excited to get you guys in a room together.
Super excited to have you both here.
Talking art shit.
Good deal.
So say art
thanks
things.
Thanks for having us on here.
Yeah, man, and Danny's a huge fan of podcasts and stand-up comedy, is... Yeah, one of the cool things about him is I think you might listen to more podcasts than I do, which is amazing.
I listen to more podcasts than anybody.
Yeah,
I've ever
dude,
met.
you were just constantly consuming podcasts.
Yeah.
What's your favorite one?
Oh man, I mean it fluctuates. Sometimes I just have to catch up because I'll get so caught up in catching one of everything. Then I'll. Time Suck is fucking awesome.
Bro, I've never even heard of that.
Because of this,
welcome
dude,
to my world.
He told us about it the last time he was on, and I was like, people recommend podcasts to me all day, and I'm like, I don't have fucking time for any more podcasts. But I was like, this dude's cool. He's got cool fucking art. He was a good guest. I was like, I trust his opinion. Let's download Time Suck. I've listened to goddamn nearly every single Time Suck episode. It's so good.
It's really
What's
good.
it about? I mean, is
Dan
it about
Cummins sits down. He's a comedian from Idaho that moved to LA and did some weird fucking jobs, and now he's a stand-up.
Yep.
Does this podcast that's completely about history.
Yeah.
So he'll just pick a topic.
brutal history.
It doesn't matter, but it's been a lot of serial killers.
He goes in very he's kind of on a true crime wave right now, but typically historic relevance. Like his next one I think is Revolutionary War, but when he did Hatfield and McCoy's, he breaks down each side of it, but at the same time recognizing that they're just buffoon idiots.
Yeah,
so it's not like Dan Harbin's.
Dan
Carlin.
It's
not that.
It's not that at all.
It's like it would be like that if Dan Carlin had any sense of humor.
Yeah.
Dan Cummins has no political agenda, no intellect. He's just fucking hilarious, and he's kind of learning it along with you, but cracking jokes through the whole thing, creating characters, and it's super entertaining and informative.
That sounds really cool. I'm gonna download that.
It does sound cool.
The Hatfield McCoy one's hilarious, because I listened to that one also, and he's doing he's like hip hip yow yow, making hillbilly noises. He's like hog folk, man, dog folk never get along. You never interbreed hog folk with dog folk, and he's just making up asshole air banjo shit. He's playing fucking Smells Like Teen Spirit on an air banjo, and he's being super annoying about it, but just having fun with it. Yep. The whole he really makes learning shit fun. It's something that a lot of people, you don't know how to teach that. Some people aren't born to be teachers. That fucking dude is, because he can keep you sitting there wanting to learn more and wanting to eat up more information.
Everybody wants to learn about history, but you just got to make it fun.
You got to be entertaining. You got to be entertaining, man.
Yeah. So I think that's a good idea. I'm going to check that shit out.
Dan Carlin, it's a good podcast, but it's you got to sit down.
It's 5 hours.
Back in your chair, take a nap, process that information, re-listen to it all, because it sounds like he's sitting there reading it to you from a textbook.
in your ear.
Yeah, it's monotone as shit.
Yeah, absolutely, totally. Yeah.
God.
He's like on the pillow. It's like the worst pillow talk.
Yeah.
And then when they entered the village,
and it's like super metal stuff too. It's it's like, and then they came upon a mountain that they thought was covered in snow, but it was actually skulls. And it's like, yeah, dude. But I'm like, I gotta like, what'd you just say? And I gotta go back 2 minutes because I was totally not paying attention to anything you just said because it's all the same voice every time.
Yeah, but then you're talking about this really horrific shit that finally grabs you, and you're like, goddamn, I haven't listened for 15 minutes, but I listened to the part where they said that they fucking killed everybody in the village, left for 2 weeks, came back and murdered everybody, and then threw all their books in the river. I like the idea, but I missed all the lead up.
I liked when Mongol stuff taking over, like Persian Empire stuff. When they're taking over, they'd come upon the city walls and like Game of Thrones style, stand outside and say, come join us or fall. And then, if you come join us, you'll live. And so they'd send out like their best men. So
they actually used to do that?
Yeah, and then they'd hand those men weapons and turn them around and make them the front line. So now, as you invade the village, they have to fight their like own people first.
Holy shit!
And then they fling the dead ones over on fire.
They light them on fire. Send them over.
Yeah, I love that.
I've always seen those like movies and stuff where the leaders meet up in the middle of the battlefield. I always thought it was like that really does happen. That really did happen back in the day. That's such a stressful. I feel like it's a stupid idea.
That's how it should happen every time. Can you imagine if like world leaders just got into an octagon whenever there's like a different
topical Trump and Korea dude met in Korea, right? And
Korea dude.
Yeah, he was the first sitting president.
Missile guy or whatever he called, Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
Yeah. But 20 feet, he like walks like 20 paces into Korea to shake his hand or whatever. And I'm just imagining like how many like eyes in the sky, mutual snipers were on each side.
Oh,
of that.
for sure.
Oh my god.
Because both of them could have just
all of them.
Sneezed out.
For sure. Yeah.
That situation is
waiting
so
for shit to go
fucking
down.
crazy to me. The whole thing, like, what the fuck?
Like,
we don't need to get into it.
Yeah, we don't.
All right,
I'm saying. But there was 2 leaders meeting, so it does happen, I guess, allegedly.
Yeah.
Now just imagine Trump now in shorts and padded fists against him in a ring.
With his fucking old man muffin top just hanging over the top of
Who
his
would win
sponsorship
between those
shorts.
two? Those two overweight guys. Who would win between those two?
His gut's gonna cover up the Klan sponsorship around the midsection. I mean, it's gonna mess up.
I feel like they probably both smell like chicken nuggets and just sweat and pee.
They die of exhaustion. They're just down of exhaustion.
There would be no winner. They just both pass out as soon as they climbed over the first
Girly
rope.
slaps.
A lot of clenching. Just a lot of clenching and hugging.
A lot of fat noises. Just.
That's pretty fucking accurate to what I'm thinking.
Trump's going for pussy grab, fucking. I don't know. I was just trying to riff off that, but it went nowhere immediately. That's all I had.
That's good. Moving on from the politics.
Keep going.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me to pay attention to politics. And are you either of you politics people on any level? Like I just can't fucking do it. Like I just try to pay attention.
Not so much anymore. Like I worked at a job where I had an evangelical boss that just inundated us all the time with bullshit. So that made me like look into it one side or the other and follow topics and shit. But I feel like just like they say with the stock market, you shouldn't look at it every day. You should look, you study the trends and look at it like once or twice a year. I think the people that like watch politics hourly is just
like on Fox News
just
or
crazy.
some bullshit.
Anything, pick anything, and just to soak in any of it all the time, like. It's just riding an irrelevant roller coaster. Like nothing's going to change in a minute.
It's the ESPN of politics, where it's just like you're tuning in and watching Sports Center, and do you want it from this person or this person? Yeah, man. I try basically. I go on a website about once a day, and I try to follow the main stories that are going on throughout the world. But as far as like trying to follow politics and being on a side, it's like. In America, I have a choice of like 75 cereals every time I go to the grocery store, but I only have 2 political parties I can pick from.
It's
what
insanity.
the fuck?
That's
to
so
represent
true.
all of us, and I'm like, this seems like a really weird way to do everything. I don't know that this is going to continue working as more and more people keep building up.
Yeah, it doesn't work at all.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody's
good.
dad.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
Really sealing up right now. Like, please, no politics.
No more
What are you gonna do
politics.
next, Cody? Religion? Yeah. What are your religious beliefs, fellas?
I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah.
We can argue about Who's God's right all day long?
I do love that you got the flat Earth poster framed though. Like, not only did you get it and receive it, but the fact that it's framed now.
I needed to get it framed. I needed to.
Absolutely.
It's one of my most prized possessions. Is this flat Earth?
I want one too.
Earth poster.
I want one like as a blanket though. I think like that image.
I bet
is like
you could.
A fleece blanket.
You would really get a flat Earth blanket. I mean, that sounds pretty appealing. I would totally wear that.
Or the Sherwin-Williams logo over that map, so it's like cover the Earth, but it's the flat Earth, and make that a blanket.
yeah.
So does Robert Reynolds is he like just flat Earth, or does he fight?
No.
So we have more episodes of more like.
I'm gonna get
no gravity.
Yeah.
I got a whole
no such thing as
in
gravity. It's only density, Mansfield. Didn't you know that?
It's density.
Yeah.
Hey, keep
you know, dude.
I don't know.
That's all I have to say to be right about it.
Satellites aren't real.
A friend of mine's into that too. Yeah, they definitely are all about their density.
That's his manifesto that he brought the first time that he came around.
Yeah.
We left it on 6 million because
let me get this.
Time out. First of all, if you're hanging out with a friend that says, I have a manifesto, run. Nothing good comes from a manifesto.
This dude is
was
always
quality
prepared.
fence work, though. He did Pat's whole privacy
Wasn't
fence.
the Unabomber pretty much proven right, though? I want to reread that one.
It's true. My man's got a point here.
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't know what you're talking about.
He was all about anti-technology, everything that is our modern world.
He was smart as fuck.
Well, before this explosion, there was the industrial revolution. He foresaw the technological revolution, and he didn't call it that, but that was the idea. Is like he was like, this is going to inundate everything about our lives. It's going to ruin everything. It's going to break down the way humans interact. It's going to destroy society on every level. So basically, he's like, nip this in the bud. So he wanted to eradicate any seedling of what has now become modern society, but. It's kind of like how, what is it? Is it WikiLeaks hasn't been proven wrong on anything?
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Kaczynski's like, nothing he said was like proven wrong or outlandish. It's like, damn, this is kind of what happened.
Well, Ted Kaczynski was he was a genius, right?
Like yeah.
He got super dosed when he went to Harvard or whatever. They totally fried his brain out. But he was, because it's like, two things that are going to majorly impact things are, number one, like the whole automated car thing. Like when the moment you start taking away semi-truck drivers out of America, like that's a huge part of like not having
so many jobs.
Yeah, so many jobs, and not having like a college degree or anything like that. You go to a trucking school, you get your license, you do your job, and that's going to go away. And then today I was watching a thing.
And that's the podcast audience, so we're all fucked.
Yeah, exactly. And then
hold on a minute.
And Boston Dynamics now is working on like robots that build. So they like will put up drywall and they will install drywall.
That's so crazy.
So like think of construction being impacted by this.
I mean, when you think, have you ever seen Logan, that movie, Wolverine movie? I mean, they have the automatic drivers there too, and they were just going in and forced. They're going to kill people and shit. I mean, that is definitely going to fuck up society and all that shit.
Devil's advocate position, what if we automate all the shit that we used to, and we start thinking about things in a different way? Like what used to be a job is now just like, the machines do that, because why should we destroy our bodies doing that? We have machines that do it way better than we can do it. If you want to do it for your fun, artisanal purposes, fine, go ahead. Dude. If you want to make it yourself by hand and someone wants to buy that,
people
fine.
would go crazy.
But now we have more time to do more things, and then different things become jobs, and then we start figuring more shit out because we're not fucking trying to build the tallest building the whole.
But you got to think
with our bodies.
Jobs provide purpose to a lot of people. Like even though a lot of people work and fucking hate it, there's a lot of people out there that have like purpose on it, And if it's taken over by a robot, people are gonna go fucking crazy.
Okay, but what if instead of stressing about having a job to do every day, they follow what they want to do?
No, see, that's the theory.
Dream.
That was the theory.
Exactly.
I think it was with computers. There was a theory that this these thinking machines are gonna do all of our workforce. It's gonna free up. It's gonna allow us to have so much free time because the productivity of the machine was like a person in a day would do 24 hours a day at 10 times the speed.
We'd be so jaded.
They claimed that the machinery would free us up. Like this is going to do the work. We'll still get the money, and we're going to get more because it's going to produce more. So we're going to be freed up to do all this stuff. But then you had to perform. You had to supervise that machine to perform at its max, and like your pay rate didn't change, and the dollar went down, and your pay rate kept not changing, and the dollar kept going down, and it's like. the demand on labor folks.
Well, that's because there's a shitty system in place right now. We need to figure that system out. We don't need to keep things the same way and then put if you put automation into the current system, of course it's going to fail because automation isn't built into the system. But if they figure out a different way to do it, which I don't have a fucking solution. I'm just sitting here with the podcast talking nonsense.
It's an impossible question.
They can figure it out. They can. And if they could figure this government shit out where it's more everybody's on the same page on a world.
But
it will happen in a time of crisis, like the climate crisis.
I
feel like that's
crisis straightens everybody out.
How the economy is ran.
Well, and if you have enough poor people that are willing to, storm the gates and kill whoever they need to because they have no other choice. Yeah. Because there will become a point if you keep going in the society that you have and you take away all the jobs and you don't have money, what are people supposed to do?
People are going to go crazy.
So, I mean, you do have Andrew Yang out there talking about like universal income, and I mean that could be a way to supplement it, but at the same time, it's like I don't think people are prepared for the future that we're going into because there is going to become a point where a lot of people are not going to have employment because technology is going to take away their job. Yeah,
it's going to be kind of like I feel like it's going to be a weird dystopia kind of thing where you have to make a certain amount to even have a place to really live because there's so many people out there. I mean, they're not going to have room for everyone.
We're just going to have to change the core of our very system to accommodate.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It would be a weird dystopia if things kept rolling the same way they're rolling, but if they're like, okay, this is built into this, there's going to be a deficit of jobs for human beings now because we've got...
what are they going to do for overpopulation?
Robots automating everything.
They only have like two choices. Like they have to do universal income and then really like slum people, or they're going to have to like kill people.
I think overpopulation is a weird thing too. I'm glad you brought up population because I was also thinking like who at this table has kids or anything.
I do.
So 3 out of 5 of us here? Do you have kids?
I got none, man.
I was thinking you had a baby.
Nope.
Okay. Okay.
Papa Cody over here.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Cody Jr.
It feels like
wait. I gotta get. Man, don't talk about that on the podcast, man.
Totally,
DL.
Shit. I was gonna say.
He doesn't remember.
I guess I'm thinking about how like my kid's 12, and people live 70, 80, 90 a lot these days. So I'm imagining like my kid when she's 80 or 90. Like how much my grandmother's, she was born like in the Depression era, right? And then saw this whole fucking world happen. Who knows what her mom saw? And then like my kid, I got to see the birth of the internet and all this stuff that's happening, wireless information, everything. Like what the fuck is she gonna see?
God knows. God knows what the fuck you're gonna see. We're gonna be in space most likely.
Right, we are in space. That's
like more. I'm talking about.
We're already there, bud.
I'm talking about terraforming on a rock.
Right.
Yeah, I'm talking about terraforming and going on like Mars and actually being colonized there or some shit like that. Yeah. I mean, what we're experiencing currently is the evolution of humankind with the infinite knowledge in our pockets. We're experiencing something that I feel like we're kind of taking for granted. Exactly what we're seeing. We're so aware of everything that's going on in the world at all times, with also being like this huge, like everything. No one knows how to use the internet, But in the future, they're gonna have things not like floating cars or whatever, but I'm sure like space and actual like planetary travel. Yeah. If we can even get past the solar system, which I doubt will be anywhere near in the next couple centuries.
I wonder.
I think like the Fermi paradox talks about that. You can only get past your own solar system so far, or some shit. But basically, I mean, that's what I think they're going to be seeing. Seeing something like that.
I do think at some point that we're going to merge with technology. We are going to have like nanobots inside of us, like checking our vitals. Shit. Yeah, man. I mean, I mean, right now it's outside of us. I mean, we basically have the internet in our pocket at all times, and it's just because I have to go like this to get to it. And somebody at some point is going to be like, "No, you just think it, and it pops up in your head, or it's in your eyeball."
It's already there.
Yeah,
well, there's prosthetics that work that way.
Elon Musk, he's got some sort of microchip that they're trying to do. I think even now, right now, that they're trying to like actually get human testing for. I don't know if that's fully true. I know it's the thing that's being planned though, but they're trying to actually get a microchip in your skull and your brain.
That's what he was talking about on Rogan's podcast.
Is that what he talked about?
Yeah,
but I think that's like a real thing. I don't know what you would do with it. I don't understand how it's going to work with your brain like that. But
it's going to record everything that you jerk off to, and then it's going to blackmail the shit out of you.
Yeah.
But then you can like cast it. You like cast it on a screen downtown. So it's cool like that.
Stupid. That's
well,
what they're going to do.
There are some benefits.
We got you, you idiot.
Caught you jerking off.
Now you'll do whatever we command.
God.
Sounds like an episode of Black Mirror. Actually, I think it was an episode.
Definitely was the episode of Black Mirror.
However, that kid fucking deserved that.
Yeah, I didn't think so the whole time. So, but I'm just gonna blow the ending for that one fucking episode. If you guys haven't seen it,
have you seen
this?
Black Mirror?
All the way up to the new ones. There's some new ones out right now, right?
Yeah, there's 3 new
ones
episodes.
Were weird.
Yeah, the first one.
I
watched. I think the first one. I'm like, this is fucking.
Can we talk about it?
Phoned in.
Can we talk about this episode?
Yeah, because it's the one with Miley Cyrus, right?
No, that's the last one.
Oh, okay. That's the last one?
The first one had Anthony Mackie in it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Did I cut you off, man?
You're good. Keep going.
Okay, yeah. So Anthony Mackie plays Falcon in the Avengers, if you don't know who that is.
Okay.
And he was in this,
who the Avengers is?
Do you know who the Avengers is, guys?
Barely. No, it's funny to cite the Avengers, and it's like a phone.
Some people may not know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But he basically he plays Falcon, who basically he's in this world where he's unhappy with his marriage, basically after being married for like 10 to 20 years, and he just reconnected with a best friend. Spoiler alert, sorry guys.
Get it.
Get it. So he reconnects with them after a while, and they're just, they're really good buddies. But then they start playing this weird like VR game, like Street Fighter in a way, and they basically go into the fighter's body, and it's like they can feel everything and all that. And his best friend is playing a woman, and he's playing some other guy, and they end up fucking inside the virtual reality.
Right.
Wait, how do you go from playing Street Fighter to fucking?
They can fuck in the game.
Because the internet's
Mansfield,
awesome.
have you ever played Street Fighter?
You've never watched fight videos and Pornhub right after each other?
Is this like a new Mortal Kombat fatality where after you beat the shit out of him, you're like, okay, I'll
I don't know why that would be programmed.
Finish him.
What kind of fucking...
No, there is though. There's that porn. That porn exists. I've watched it.
Oh, thank you.
I've jerked off to it.
Yeah,
she's like, get
two
over
girls
here.
Wrestling. Oh, she lost. Now I've got to take the double donger out, and I'm going to show her what's up.
Cody, do you think in the future the internet porn historian will be a title that you will hold?
Yeah, hopefully.
With his 50
God,
tabs
I'm
open.
gonna need the job when there's a robot sitting here talking better shit than I can talk shit, and like, oh, what do I do now? It's cooking better than I can cook, and drawing better than I can draw, and all my shit's gone. Playing guitar better than me.
Guys, would you ever let a robot jack you off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a disgusting fucking animal. Of course I would.
Yeah.
Yep.
You really would?
All of us would. Shut up.
It's just,
Are you about to say no?
He says lying.
Wait, I don't think that's cheating. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean,
oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not
cheating.
gonna tell Alan about it.
cheating.
She'd be
Hold
ashamed
on,
of me.
guys. I mean, it's really weird because let's say a girl can have a toy, but if a guy has a fleshlight, the girl's gonna get pissed the fuck off, which is super weird. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have an automated arm that I have to attach to a table, and all of a sudden I'm the weird one.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
It's not with someone else.
Yeah.
It's not with someone else. I mean, it definitely isn't cheating.
I practice arm wrestling with it when I'm done. Okay,
Yeah.
does that make it better?
But how would that make you feel knowing that, let's say, your wife was fucking a male robot kind of thing? You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Would you be like, that's
Sometimes
not cheating?
I don't want to fuck her.
Oh, you're
so
gonna
like,
go in the machine
hey,
room? Okay, go
the
ahead,
machine
honey.
room?
Yeah.
entire room in your house dedicated to this?
For the fuck, yeah. It's this unisex robot that turns from male to female, whoever goes in there. How weird is that?
In the future, we're dedicating an entire room to sex.
But I'm just saying, like, would you be like, yeah, well, honey, that's cool. That's not cheating.
But does the robot recycle my loads and fart out like a nice Febreze that scents the room or something?
It's synthetic.
You're telling me that when we become advanced enough that we can have robots take all of our jobs.
Yes.
That the first
That's
thing
the first
we
one.
are not going to is fucking porn? Of course we are.
Yeah, that's the
that'd
first
be
one they
sure.
take. First printing press,
Right away.
straight to porn. You
Yeah.
know?
Porn
First
doesn't-
cameras, straight
They're just
to
gonna
porn.
put a
First internet,
fleshlight on
straight
a
to porn.
Boston
Dude,
Dynamics
VHS
robot.
versus beta, VHS, porn.
Right.
We don't have to think or work on shit anymore. We're just going to settle. Like, we got it good enough. Let's just start fucking stuff
I think it's kind of what we do now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty straight. Yeah, what we
Yeah.
do now, yeah.
That's why there's so goddamn many of us, because that's what your brain's wired to do. Just fucking create more people. That's what your brain wants to do all the time.
Yeah, because there was a time when your kids died of like dysentery, getting stabbed in the face with a sword
Yeah.
before they were 8.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes, now you're
Christ.
you're just like,
Yeah.
you know, the world's.
It's like we're scared of snakes and shit, or spiders, because little babies used to get killed by them for like thousands of years, and it's just built into us instinctually, like why we
Hey,
are
spiders
fearful.
suck, though.
Yeah, fuck spiders.
That's
What are you
true.
saying, Pat? You saying that you like spiders?
I don't care. I mean, no, I don't really. I
what
don't
you're
want
trying
them
to say?
crawling on me. Look, I'm the kind of guy that's gonna put a cup over. If I see a spider in my house, I'm not gonna kill it. I'm not gonna let it go. I'm gonna put a cup over it, tape around, and say, Rachel, I need you to I couldn't do anything with it. I couldn't let it live, and I couldn't let it escape.
I killed a spider today, Pat.
I just wouldn't.
It died horrifically.
I don't kill bugs.
Stomped to death by my girlfriend's Doc Martens. Just fucking beat the shit. Threw it across the room because the little one comes in. She's like, "Daddy, a spider!" And she's always freaking out about dumb shit. And I'm like, "There's no spider." And I look over.
No
and there's a big old fucking $half size spider crawling up the wall and getting it. And I'm like, if I don't get it now, I'm gonna lose it. And I do.
But I will say, I hate those fucking silverfish more. So I'll let those fuckers go around my house all the time.
Dude, they attack the spiders. They are the allies.
Wait, what? The silverfish go for the spiders?
Yes,
and they live for like 17 years.
Silverfish.
The silverfish live for 17 years?
Not silverfish. You're talking about house centipedes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's different. Silverfish and centipedes, house centipedes are different. People call them the same thing, but they're not. You're talking about the multi-legged fuckers that move really fast. That's a house centipede.
Bazillion leggers.
They live for 17 years.
Yeah. What? 17 years?
Fucking Google that, Snopes.
No,
Snopes, you're a fucking liar.
Do they have a bad teenage mustache before they die?
Zing.
I don't fucking believe you. How long does the house centipede live?
Good question.
And so we were talking silverfish, house centipede.
6 years, you fucking idiot.
It was
you
11
fucking
years
stupid.
off.
6 years.
Still 6 years for a little fucking
for a bug.
Yeah, that's 17 in centipede.
That is
years.
a long fucking time.
Dude, they are the allies. You should not be saving the Spideys, Pat. You kill them. You're actually helping their species.
You know what's weird? Actually in my basement, I get the cave crickets, and I fucking hate cave crickets.
Yeah, because they're spiders that can fucking jump at you.
But there was a big fucking curled up, big ass. I'm not kidding. It was the size of like a small egg or something. Spider. It was fucking gigantic. It was a wolf spider. Whenever I think, and I may be wrong. Yeah, cave crickets are a nightmare, dude. I can tell you fucking stories about these fuckers.
They look like spiders on the floor, and then they jump up at you.
Yeah, that's their defense mechanism to jump at you.
I'm like, no!
So these things can get as big as your fucking hand. I'm not kidding you. They do not have any fear of human either. But anyways, there was this fucking crumbled up spider, and what I'm aware of is when they were crumbled up like that, they molted. And when you see a dead molted spider that's all curled up, there's actually a much bigger living spider still in the house. That's just its skin.
That's super metal.
Excellent. It's fucked.
I hate spiders, dude.
What did you have like a spider bite your dick or something, Luke? Like
I get attacked by spiders all the time. I have a spider bite right here. I have my armpit is recovering from a spider bite that I got not too long ago. I have a spider bite I'm inching right now on my middle finger.
Are you living in a fucking haunted house?
Yeah, like what is this is swarmed by spiders. What the fuck, Luke?
This has been a thing that has happened to me every summer since I've lived in Coleraine, and I live in Hamilton now, and it's still happening.
Did you bring the spiders with you, bud? Like what happened?
They know my scent.
Comic book collection? What were you gonna say, Danny?
I was gonna say the evil of spiders. Friend of mine, single dude, had a girlfriend. You know,
not single.
A girlfriend. He's single though. So he had a friend who's a girl, right? They spent time together. She slept at where he was staying and got bit by a spider. He had another friend that was a girl who slept in the same residence. She got bit by a spider. These girls are on Facebook like, I got bit by a spider. I got bit by a spider. Where'd you get yours bite at?
Twins.
Oh,
yeah. Spiders, little narcs, man.
We had some dude on our podcast.
That really happened.
True story.
Oh, fuck that spider to death.
Yeah.
They are not allies, Patrick.
Yeah, right.
They're snitches.
Yeah, exactly. Where these house centipedes at?
Well,
I side pussy game.
I'm just now remembering we had this guy on our podcast, Trent Quirk. He was talking about a story about how a spider bit his dick.
That's not good.
He never went to go check it out. And he said
that's convenient. Yeah, totally. Wow. All right, then.
You're saying you got the herpily.
Yeah, I'm saying I go visit the Cincinnati Health Department. They'll look at that spider biting your dick for you.
He was avoiding it. Damn, it's malicious. That's fucked up, man.
God,
her name was Spider.
That doesn't happen.
What, did a spider bite your dick head?
I hope it never does.
Would you still fuck? Would you try to like masturbate around it?
With
like
I
can masturbate
on
around
the tip of my dick.
I can tell you, I had a dick issue recently. I told this. I don't want to burn the story. I already said it once.
He had an STD issue recently.
I thought it was an STD. Well, the doctor thought it was an STD, and it turned out to be rubbing in my pants. No, I got the phone call. They said herpes, and I was like, it's probably hippies, and I was like, fuck. Now I gotta kill my girlfriend, and then it came up negative for herpes. Like, dope. Well, what is it though? And it's gone now. But like, I had the whole
AIDS
puffy
cancer.
dick issue, and I could tell you definitively with my dick swole up, hurting, all fucking red. Of course I jerked off. What are you talking about? Yes, the answer is absolutely jerk off around that.
Did you get a superpower from whatever this wound was caused by?
If by superpower you mean just like stinging, burning pain, then yeah, I got a superpower.
A slightly limp
right in the side of my dick.
That is not going to be a good Marvel movie.
Ow, my dick hurts.
Cody
That's
man.
the whole movie. The only line in the movie.
Missile shits.
Opening credits.
Their only power.
Stanley's cameos, the doctor administering the medicine.
Jesus.
Where the fuck is this podcast going?
I don't know.
It
Off
gets
the
deep,
rails.
man. We get deep, man.
Yeah.
What's it? What do you got pulled up here?
Solving the real issues.
What the fuck is this?
Oh, this is the big fatty fat that can't eat vegetables and whatnot.
Clearly.
I don't know, dude. Look at
Fatty
her.
fat that can't eat the vegetables.
I wouldn't
is
be
what
such
you
a
just said.
I wouldn't be such a cocksucker about it if she wasn't crying. Like, let's just watch it real quick
right.
so you guys see what we're talking about.
Just refuses. Just try a little taste.
It's a piece of broccoli and she's literally crying.
I can't.
It's a piece of fucking
They're playing sad piano music. Her husband has to come over and console her.
Oh, she couldn't eat for a half second.
Oh,
Yeah.
She was fucking crying, dude. But you know what? I actually think there's a disorder to not
yeah,
eat to be in eating.
She's
To, like,
sad she
not trying
missed
to
a
shit.
bite. She's not sad because it's so bad. She's like, I just fucking wanted that fucking bite.
Just wanted one more thing to eat.
I don't understand. Like, I get it if you're afraid of shit. I'm afraid of all kinds of things. I don't like heights. I don't like spiders. I don't like planes. I understand. But vegetables, you're crying about the vegetable, the inanimate object that you can eat for fuel to keep your body moving. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And you're on TV crying about it.
And you don't get that big from being that picky about eating.
No.
Like, you've eaten
Well,
so much
unless you
shit.
just eat strictly
Yeah.
pizza. I knew some guy that only ate pizza for every meal
what
for every
if-
day until
what
he
if
had health
she-
problems.
Right.
What if she has some
Crazy.
sort of tragic, like, life-destroying broccoli incident earlier in her
how's
the
that work,
fuck are you
Luke? Yeah, what's
talking
that look
about?
like?
Like somebody just mouth-fucked her with broccoli, like, you're gonna eat it! Or something, dude. I don't know. And she's
Kidnap
just
someone
like,
and fucking force feed him broccoli.
yeah.
Are you talking about Cody's dick after the doctor's appointment?
Yes. Exactly.
You're gonna eat it!
I hate broccoli.
Yeah. You tell yourself for the rest of the time that it was broccoli that you're scared of.
I didn't know where that was going to go, and now I'm kind of on Luke's side here.
I think he does have. If somebody, in Luke's terms, mouth fucked me with a broccoli Brussels, then I would probably be. It's over. I'm done.
Yeah,
with
that seems pretty bad. Yeah.
I mean, what
No
food-
more green shit ever again.
Have you guys ever ate something that made you want to gag though? Like, you
Yes.
just
Yes.
like,
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
all this.
I had a
Yes.
bug a couple times.
Were you like gagging before you ate it?
I swallowed it, but it was gross. I mean, I'll eat all kinds of things just because I'm hungry, because I grew up, like, you're going to fucking eat it or you're not going to leave the table. Or if you do leave the table, when you come back to the table for your next meal, it's going to be this cold-ass food that's been
damn.
left on the table. And I was
That's
like,
cold.
fuck. All right, I guess I'm going to choke it down. Like, canned, I love fresh asparagus, but canned, shitty boiled asparagus
Ew.
is...
Never heard of it.
Shitty canned asparagus?
Yeah.
You've never heard of canned asparagus?
No, man, no.
It's real garbage. Don't ever pick
Yeah,
that up.
I
Don't
won't.
ever try to get your kids to eat it. It's fucking tastes like snot came out of somebody's butthole, and then fucking they
Ugh.
That's not good.
formed it into a shape of
You
what
gotta
used
have
to
it
be a
grilled or
asparagus.
roasted.
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah.
it's
Grilled.
like, just imagine being in a can full of
Soggy?
the preservative
Not good.
juices, just soaked it all in and
Bro, it's
soggy
whack.
asparagus.
Oh, man. And then make that hot.
Yeah, dude.
Not good. Not good.
It makes me want to puke now, man.
Not good.
I love asparagus. So like
too.
they fucked me up
Right.
for my dad fucked me up with asparagus. He was like, "You're gonna fucking eat it." I have to sit there and like the whole time that I'm eating it. So yeah, plenty.
You got to
of stuff
do
like
the
that.
either the water trick or the napkin trick.
Oh, yeah, classic.
What's
The
the-
water
Wait, what?
trick is where you put the veggies in your mouth and then you just drink water with it and swallow the water. You know?
Oh.
You don't gotta taste it that way.
So like when
little life hack there for you picky eaters.
so the guys at the hot dog eating contest on July 4th, where they just like house the dog and they just like dump water down her throat and just clear it.
I think that might be what they do because it makes it. That's got to be so fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
Mushy,
yeah.
watery
Dude,
hot dog chunks.
hot dog bread.
Just
Hot
like
dog bread.
swine organ
Dude,
meats
that
and
sounds
soggy
That sounds
bread.
horrendous.
You know, speaking of hot dogs, I've recently discovered the trend of videos of a hot dog eating contest in reverse, and they're the most
Oh.
abused
Oh yeah, I
Excellent.
posted it on the
in
page
world
recently.
to see.
For people eating in reverse, it's fucking
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
a
Yeah, it's
what?
weird, man.
Have you
Yeah,
ever seen the video of that
that's
dude that
coincidental.
throws the hot dog down his mouth and then he goes
What?
like, and he spits it right immediately back out, comes out of his throat. You guys have never seen
How
this?
do you even practice that?
God bless the internet.
Let me see if I can find this real
Yeah,
quick.
Yeah.
pull that
That's
up.
a man cannon.
That's so fucking weird.
We're talking about how people don't get paid anymore. Meanwhile, we're like, have you seen the video where the guy throws up and swallows?
That's talent.
Eats a swallow.
That's talent.
So we don't deserve to get paid anymore.
Back in the vaudeville days, he would have made 2 nickels.
That's the video right there.
Oh, bro, watch this shit.
This is some fucking America's Got Talent shit right here.
Truly, watch him.
Okay?
Styling.
I'm just saying.
No fucking way!
I'm just saying.
How did he figure this out?
It's so good. It's so fucking good.
Doesn't that make you want to fucking gag some cold prepackaged hot dog just swallowing it whole?
Oh, it makes me want to bring the do-rag back.
And he like inhales it into his lungs, I guess.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's so fucking disgusting.
I don't know what to do with that.
How do you learn that carnival trick?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay,
Yeah, who
okay.
the fuck learns that?
I've got a story that I wanted to tell. I don't know where it's gonna go, but I'm sure that everybody in this room could fucking. This is completely. I'm gonna shoehorn this in or whatever. But I'm sure from years of doing. What, Luke? Are you all right?
He's expecting you're gonna say something traumatic happened to you, so you can fucking bust his ass out.
So wild to watch.
Luke got so high before this podcast.
Dig it.
Like, his whole body language too, and his shitty tattoo and red bandana.
His whole
Like
style.
everything, his whole mannerism about just sucking down a hot dog.
I'm just saying. The fact that he said, I'm just saying, between the swallow and the spit, because it's like, are you thinking, okay, he can choke it down and hold it, but he talks in between.
Yeah.
So
I'm
that means
just
he
saying.
set it out of range,
Yeah.
spoke, and then pushed it back out.
I can do it quick. Okay?
This dude would be like a
Boom.
Sully's fantasy.
Totally cool. Just saying.
It just gets it right back, and it's got some fucking lift to it.
God.
And the sound he makes too.
Where did it go?
Do you think like he learned how to swallow swords and then he like transferred that ability to hot
No,
dogs?
you start with hot dogs.
For sure
and
you start with
then
the hot dogs,
swords.
You start with the hot dogs and the sword.
Yes,
Yeah.
you don't start with swords, man. Would you go swords
Well,
first?
this
before
is the
hot
first
dog?
fucking hot dog puker I've ever seen.
No, you start with hot dogs and he's a fucking rookie. I'll tell you.
Yeah, because it's a standard
if he-
Frank. It wasn't a foot long.
Yeah, well, not even just that, but if he were to go with the sword down his throat, he's splitting his fucking neck down into.
Yeah. It needs to be a whole kielbasa or Luke's not impressed.
Yeah, Luke is just not impressed.
Not happening.
How many hot dogs you swallowed?
Too many.
Entire severed
I'll probably
horse
have
dick's
some hot
worth of
dogs
hot dogs.
tomorrow. Just because of this conversation, I'll have hot dogs.
Hot
tomorrow.
dogs are the most disgusting things that have ever graced the
Yeah, hot
planet
dogs
Earth.
are pretty
I
nasty.
They're so
hate hot
foul.
dogs.
They're
I
so-
don't understand how
dogs.
people eat them. People fucking love them too.
I can
Pour
do
that
all beef.
shitty Cincinnati chili right on it. Just squirt that
why
diarrhea
is that
all
a
over
thing?
it.
It's so
It's
gross.
garbage.
You hate Skyline?
Well, I don't hate it. I eat the shit out of it, but I recognize that it's nasty slurry.
Yeah, I hate it.
Like I'm not. I've been to a lot of places and ate a lot of food, and it's not a star.
Yeah, bro. The deepest I'll go is some chili cheese fries, and it's just
Right.
because I'm a fat, disgusting, drunken pig.
And
Why
they
is
cover
there
it in
sit
cheese,
there
and cheese is great.
hate
Yeah, cheese
myself.
is good, but why so much brown sugar? Like, what's that about?
And cinnamon.
to hide
Get the
the-
fucking cinnamon out of the fucking out of that
Hiding
slurry
horrible
diarrhea.
I ain't got time for this shit.
They're
Just
hiding the low quality.
Give me some
meat.
beef and some beans and some fucking chili, and we can do this thing. But
I mean,
all this brown sugar, all the cinnamon, I can't do it.
growing up the way that I did too, especially made me hate it because my dad was such a good cook. Like, the fuck is this ant? This ant's gonna die right now. Sorry, Pat, killing bugs in your house. But don't want them on the podcast tables. But yeah, growing up the way that I did, my dad won the Cincinnati chili cook-off like 3 years in a row and shit, and fucking made some bomb-ass chili all the time. He hated that dog shit Skyline Gold Star
That's
stuff.
pretty
'Cause
dope.
He grew up poor as fuck, and just hated it and was fed it all the time. He was like, I can do better for sure. Won that contest 3 years in a row, so I got this fucking delicious chili all the time. And I'm like, this Skyline shit's garbage. I don't even understand as a Gold Star or Skyline. They both suck. They're both fucking trash. What's
So
up?
multiple questions.
Okay.
Number
let's
one,
hit that shit up.
3 years in a row, like back to back,
back to back.
like the '90s Bulls. Like, did he win like a fucking belt buckle? Did he win a cauldron? Like, what
No,
do you
they-
get for winning the chili cook-off of Cincinnati?
The only trophy that I have still is destroyed, but you get one of those like shitty fucking trophies with a fireman on top of it or whatever.
Yeah, that's what you
and
get.
the little placard, and we got 3 of those, and then you get to take home the big wooden thing with everybody's names on it. You put the little plaques or whatever. So
Damn.
Michael B. Hucker was on there and shit for 3 times.
I was thinking the 3-peat. You said the Bulls.
One of
It's
those.
the Hucker 3-peat.
Do you?
No, wait. He won it 2 years and was gonna when the third year, I think.
Performance enhancement.
But no, he dropped the whole thing of chili.
My man's bringing in peppers. He's throwing ghost peppers in there.
No, it was 2 years in a row. It was 2 years in a row, and the third year that we went there.
Like the Celtics.
I remember it vividly because I was a little kid, and I was in the audience because the way that they had done it, I don't even remember exactly where it was at, but I remember being this big, giant crowd of people, and he's like, the best that we could have done was third or second. My Uncle Scott was with me and shit, and I'm up on his shoulders so I can see above. They just got done with the jalapeno eating contest and shit. Watch this dude mack down like 15 jalapenos in a row, and then they're announcing the winners. My dad was just like, third place, maybe second. They announced third, and he was like, come on, second. And then they announced second, wasn't him. He's like, all right, come on, let's go. And then we're like leaving as awesome. They're announcing his fucking name. And the first place winner is Michael Hucker. And it was like, what the fuck? And then we all got up on stage like, holy shit, we won? No fucking way. And then it happened the second year, and then the third year we went up there. My dad dropped the whole thing of chili, but he wasn't about to lose. So he'd start scooping the chili up off the floor and fucking picked it back up and served samples of it. And I have a feeling that the floor chili didn't win for a reason.
That's how my mom used to make it.
Yeah, but that's real too. And what the fuck was the other funny part of that story? They had one rule. They had one fucking rule. No beans. You can't have any beans. My dad was like, beans make the chili. Pureed the beans, put it in the chili. 2 years by cheating, fellas.
Yeah.
By cheating. You gotta have the motherfucking beans.
Steroids.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, what is this delicious hearty protein in here soaking up all the flavor? This can't be right.
Fat,
this is delicious.
Rendered tallow, my friends.
Do you ever feel like an 80s movie where you're going to go back and now you're the son of the winner, where now you have to go get the trophy and you have to take it back for the family?
Yeah, now I do. God damn it, now I gotta have that competitive shit in my head.
In a chilly
I'm gonna do it now.
In a chilly town.
Fucking do it.
Yeah, you have a legacy to uphold, man. What are you doing?
My man right here, he's gonna be the chili king.
Yes, totally. Hey, by the way, my friend Nathan makes his own. He does make his own hot sauce. Grows all the peppers in his garden and stuff. He's probably gonna be on Hot Ones in like a year. He's talking to him. He's got to prove all his credentials that they don't use preservatives.
Like his hot sauce is gonna be on there. Is it hot as fuck?
Is he from around here? Let's get this man on a podcast.
I'll do that. It's called Hot Sauce for Mortals. So with the intent that it's delicious, smoky, peppery, everything else. There's like sweetness in there, but it's tolerable for digestion and recipes.
We love eating.
Love to talk to a hot sauce creator.
There you go.
Dude, he's about it. All the Scoville units and the different pepper names, X and fucking Reapers and whatever. He's got all that shit.
That's awesome. Yeah, my dad got me into that shit too, because that's why he was all about it. He would grow his own garden full of peppers, had like fucking habaneros and Scotch bonnets, and then
put that shit in your chili and kill the game.
Yeah, dude, it does. It really makes a difference when you use all those fresh peppers and whatnot. I make a goddamn good chili. I'll say that about my chili. Nothing like that diarrhea that people put in their mouths down at Skyline and fucking Gold Star. What's your opinion of that?
What?
You eat trash food.
Do I? Do I really?
You eat like a garbage can.
Let me tell you, I do. Yeah.
You like a human garbage disposal. What's your opinion on Skyline? Best food you've ever eaten?
No. Best food I've ever eaten? That's so stupid. No, but I will say I wouldn't never consider Skyline chili. Yeah, that's a meat sauce, and it's just a brand name.
Right,
like,
bro, it's the same as you go to UDF and they've got the nacho cheese. You hit the button and it squirts diarrhea cheese.
I eat garbage food, and you know what this is?
Chili comes out.
Thank God for that shit. It's so good.
Yeah,
nacho cheese, liquid nacho cheese, one of the best things I ever fucking.
Fantastic. Don't hit that red button though. I don't know what's in there, but that isn't chili. That's astronaut food.
No, that's dog.
Yeah, that's dog.
That's
food.
dog.
Don't eat that, please, God. Don't eat that.
But I would definitely not consider Skyline chili at all. That's a meat sauce.
It's a meat sauce.
Yeah,
just meat sauce.
I agree. I've always
meat.
It's a brown sauce instead of red sauce, and it's yellow cheese instead of white cheese. Like if it was red and white, it would be Italian food.
Yeah.
But here it's just like some slop slurry and a bunch of fucking cheddar.
That's a good way of describing it. It's slop. That's what the fuck that is. It's human slop.
I'm glad we finally got to the bottom of this debate.
Yeah.
I still like it.
Just lost like half
I fucking love Skyline.
The answer is it's all shit. Luke likes it though. Luke's over here, the odd man out.
I do like Skyline, but I like my mom's chili way more.
But how is Gold Star any different?
It's a different.
Gold Star's
it's like
fucking,
day and night between the texture and taste between Skyline and my mom's.
Okay,
chili.
well, also Gold Star. Let's just be honest. Gold Star's some fucking hot garbage.
But I do enjoy Skyline.
They have a lot of meat in it, I would say, but there's no flavor. It tastes fucking flavorless.
I don't fuck with
How
Gold
is there
Star.
so much hate on Gold Star yet it still exists?
Because they're a money laundering racket. Allegedly. I'm kidding. Fucking around. Gold Star, don't sue this podcast.
Jeff Ruby's gambling.
Allegedly. Yeah. I've allegedly heard about that as well.
What is it?
No, I was just joking. I was saying maybe Gold Star is like Jeff Ruby's like gambling, like laundering or something like that. I don't know.
Is that something?
Does Jeff Ruby suck? Is that
no?
the?
I'm just saying. I'm saying he's like the high end local food, and then Gold Star Skyline is like the low end. You know. So in terms of like how are they still making money, it would make sense that like other money was moving through them or something. Kroger, P&G, Macy's.
Gold Star's I don't think it's considered a franchise. I think they're all individually owned actually. Because I have a friend that whose dad owns like a fuck ton of them, and yeah, I think they're all individually owned. So I think actually they all taste different, and maybe that's why. They're ran by different companies with different requirements for their stuff.
You got some inside trading on Gold Star right now.
I'm not saying who, but that's just what I know.
Open a franchise?
Yeah, and put his chili.
Yeah, right. That's what's up.
Yeah, what's up?
Stop selling their dog shit, fucking normal. No, I don't need the cans of Gold Star. I'll make my own. It's fine. No, we're Gold Star. Yeah, and I'm gonna make it better now. But it's not gonna. I'll still call
Platinum
it Gold Star.
Star.
I'll fix this shit.
Dude, he comes from a long line of fucking chili killers. Like it's not
a
like
long line.
he's not
One
talking.
man.
He's not talking shit. You know what I mean? This is generations deep in the Cincy chili game.
Listen to the man.
Like his opinion matters here.
He's a chili expert. Chiliologist.
Exactly.
In all fairness, all those recipes dyed my dad's head. I made my own fucking chili on my own, but I didn't win no goddamn competitions and such.
You gotta write your own way, man.
One day,
Cody's cookbook.
potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely an 80s movie. It's like a BMX movie, but it's about chili.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Potentially.
Instead of gleaming the cube, it's like greasing the bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You have to make chili now.
Okay.
I've never seen you make chili. How do I know you're not making this shit
I'll
up?
make you some fucking bomb-ass chili.
What's your secret ingredient?
Bacon grease, a fucking dickload of it. So you start your
How do
vegetables.
No, you need
no,
to tell me
I'll tell you guys all the
for me to
recipe,
believe
and you can modify this however the fuck you want. But you start it in a big, gigantic goddamn pot because you want to make enough for the whole neighborhood to eat your chili.
Oh, the secret's coming out.
The
Not
Cody
that
cookbook
expensive.
lesson of the day.
Yeah.
You get a couple different types of meat, all right? You don't just like go one type of meat. You get fucking. Do you
kill the
ground
animals
chuck.
yourself?
Well, if you have that option, fuck yeah, dude. If you want to put some deer, you can make some bomb ass deer chili. I've done it all the time.
Just throw it in the grinder.
Well, no. Fuck that. We get the back straps, right? Because we've got my grandpa's preacher friend, whatever the fuck, goes hunting and gets.
Does
you
he
some
bless
nice
the food?
Hopefully, right? Yeah, it makes it all kosher and shit, and then I put it in my big fat alcoholic mouth, and it tastes delicious. I make poopies later, but no, you get a couple different types of meat. You start with a dickload of bacon grease. Save your bacon fat, ladies and gentlemen. Put it in a can and fucking put that shit in the fridge. It's Alabama gold.
Yeah.
You just keep that in there. It stays forever. You start your onions in it. You start your fucking peppers in it. All your spices and seasonings. You get that rolling. You put your meat in. You brown the fuck out of it, and then you add all the fillers, all the beans, all the everything else in between. You just let that bitch cook for forever on low heat, and you got yourself a good chili. Modify that however you want, but that's the basis of all good chili.
So when he says
that, you can't fuck it up. You can't. It's so simple.
Yeah, it's so simple. He doesn't give you
And
any time
Gold Star
how
and
much
Skyline
you put in
ruins it
there. Yeah.
That's
Next to no information on how you cook this.
I'm not going to go on a big dissertation on how to cook chili specifically.
You're just going to have to make it.
Watch a video. It's pretty easy. I don't know. Just throw shit into a pot. You'll figure it out.
Just do a fucking book, cookie book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We tried to do a cooking show one time.
Hot
with
dogs
these
and
guys.
warm water.
But like everybody's like
do
favorite
yourself.
like weird stuff to make.
You guys have been involved in some weird stuff. There was the cooking show, and then there was the whole like
Olympics?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You guys have seen some shit.
The
There's a
weirdest
couple
shit I've
strange
ever
things,
experienced in my life has been a part of this podcast. And the Olympics stands out as a life before that event, and then my innocent life before then, and then my whole tortured view of life now, seeing your friend's dick.
Yeah,
He jacks it off
so for new
constantly.
listeners, like, what is that? Can you explain what happened?
So the Olympics is basically one of our buddies in the shit talking cunts. You should go listen to them, by the way. Had this event where basically it was a dick related contest, and I didn't know what I was really getting into. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, I'm a fucking
Setting this
man.
up poorly. He gave us a lot of notice. We knew what we were going to do. It's our dude Joey O'Neill. He's a part of the Bastard Network. You can check out Shit Talking Cunts to the STC podcast. He's actually going to have Ralph Sutton, the guy that runs Gas Digital, on his shit. Check that out. And he's a solid dude. It's a podcast out of Boston that we he did our intro and shit like that and whatnot, and he had this whole giant competition that he planned out because he's doing things very in the vein of Legion of Skanks, which I can appreciate, where he's just trying to do as far into the, like, go as deep as you want with the most fucked up style of comedy possible and just, like, no fucks given the entire way, and I appreciate that. And he wanted to do this whole competition based on the Olympics that he renamed the Olymp Dicks, where he's gonna, him and a friend are gonna pull their dicks out and do several competitions that he had figured out. One's a tennis racket, fucking hit M&Ms with the head of your penis and see how far you can make it on the different cups on the table, and jack off into the bullseye or whatever, and wherever the cum
you get the
lands.
idea. But basically, that was not censored for us like it is for the viewers. So we saw these guys' dicks the whole time. People we know, and then
So you guys,
they have a room full of people, and they're trying to have boners, but they can't because they're so shy, and they're just trying to jack off their dicks next to each other in silence while, like, watching porn next to each other. And it's like the most pathetic, strangest thing I've ever seen. And, like, people are sitting in the room quietly, and we're sitting over here. Luke has no idea what the fuck's going on.
So when you stare into the abyss, does the abyss stare back at you?
I don't know, but their dicks looked right into my eyes. And I could feel the contact through the fucking webcam.
It was being watched by those one-eyed monsters.
One of the weirdest parts was when they had, so, like, it came down to the bullseye test, right? And they left the room for that, both of them, and it was just the girl who was in the room the whole time, who was, like, semi-judging, I guess. She was there for commentary.
Wait, semi-judging or semi-judging?
It was Joey's wife's best friend was just in the
Didn't she
room
lick cum
with
or
them
some
while
shit?
their dicks were out the whole
No.
time.
Did
No,
she
she
lick it?
smelled the cum.
So, like, she's there and she
smell
was
better.
talking about how the room smelled weird, and I was like, how does the cum smell? Like, jokingly, and she just goes, I don't know. And she picks up the sheets of paper and
She
goes,
smelled them.
She smells them both. Yeah, she gave
Fucking dude gets Joey's cum.
Trashy.
The other dude, Phil, he gets the other dude's cum on his hand. And it's in the YouTube clip. You can see it. It's towards the end. I'm not going to try to find it right now. It's a long
3-hour
podcast.
episode.
But he was like, oh, God. And he was like, what happened? Did you almost touch the cum? And he turns around to the camera. And he's got a whole handful of Joey's cum just on his hand. And
And that's where she
man,
said that
oh,
cum
man.
smelled.
I just think it's funny to get, like, naked and jack off with a dude in another room, in a
It's
room,
so awkward.
and then be mad that you got cum on your hand. It's like, motherfucker, you were jacking off together.
Oh, he took
like,
it pretty well
like,
for a man
dude,
with
it was
a handful of another man's cum. I
mortifying.
taking that extremely well.
Nothing prepares
And
you
this-
to see your friend's dick and them jacking off.
And this
trying
has
to,
to
get
do with an Olympic thing. So, like, is
Into the mic.
this is an Olympic thing, right? Like, what are the other events?
Oh, well, I mean, there was events.
Oh,
well, so the bullseye
there was a
thing
javelin.
Yeah, sure.
They ran out each.
Yeah.
So they had this one
Dick
part.
Luge.
So the bullseye thing was they had a bullseye and they had to masturbate on it. So when what Luke was saying earlier, they came back and they're still half limp or dripping dick is still there, and they're, like, tugging at it, touching each other's hands. So trashy. But then they also had, like, a talent show where the one guy who was uncircumcised, which I won't ever forget, really weird, did the vanishing trick where he did some fucking Buffalo Bill shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
getting tricky.
And you see his dick first. He puts the curtain over it and he pulls it back.
Oh,
and
now you
dick's
see it, now you
gone.
don't.
He tucked it between his legs real quick.
Damn.
And then,
What did I
we're
find behind
expecting
your
that's
ear?
the extent of the magic competition. And then Joey's like, hold
He
on, I
knocked
gotta
it out
get
of the
set
park.
up. He turns around, starts putting, like, capes on and shit, and you see, like, wires going. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What
He's
are
got
you
a
doing,
cape?
Joey? He turns back around. He's got, like, this whole fucking, like, barber shop, like, style. You know, you put that fucking thing on when you get your hair cut so it doesn't get all over your clothes. He's got one of those, hole cut out, dick through the hole.
With costume.
He's got two marionette fucking, like, the puppet master things with wires attached to his dick. And then he was like, producer, hit the music. And you hear Riverdance music. And he starts tugging on it to the beat of the Riverdance. Starts doing a river dance with his dick. And
That
it's
was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my whole life.
fucking
To be
hilarious.
fair,
I was like, he
won
put
that
time and
shit.
effort into fucking this whole dick competition.
He thought
thing.
that out.
But boy, did I feel fucking awkward,
Yeah,
bud.
mortifying.
Like, there was times where like, they cut to a commercial break, right, where they showed some sort of video, and
they're just trying to furiously
yeah,
jack
and
dick hard.
in between that video, like, the viewers who watch the video will see the video, whereas we are watching them silently sitting side by side, just with the table between them,
looking up the most hardcore
furiously
porn,
masturbating to whatever porn they're watching on their phone,
and they're, like, looking
trying
around.
to get hard. And they took gas station dick pills to help too, and they
performance
just
enhancing drugs.
Exactly.
They could not
least
get
they're on the
it up
playing field.
though.
They said their balls felt like they were turning inside out, though, at one point. I remember that. And I was like, well, that's the dick gas station.
Well, how bad do you want to win?
Yeah.
Dude, they were trying to win. Like, this was so fucking weird. This was the weird. I felt like it was part of some gay porn game show.
Absolutely. Everything about it to me says gay porn. Because that's why I was asking about the other events. I felt like the final event to get the gold is like you just fuck your friend.
Yeah.
Like, because everything leading up to it, this just sounds like exhibitionist foreplay.
Just like the winner's top.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
It was the weirdest fucking thing that I've ever been a part of, but I don't regret it.
I don't regret it.
Yeah,
it's weird and it's a good story.
It is a good story.
It's definitely a story.
It also reminds me of a before story because as you're explaining, like, and then one time I saw him and he tucked his dick and he put on this cape and had these marionettes and his dick was hanging out. Like, it sounds like a before story. Like 25 years from now, there's like, there's rumors at a young age he used to, and then you go into that story. It totally sounds like a Dateline expose on his past.
Oh yeah, that's never gonna.
Before you find out he's a serial killer.
Like he's put on capes, tuck his dick through some shit, and played with puppets in front of his friends. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Going to some interview and they do a background check, like, and actually Google him and shit, and they find this fucking video of him.
There's like
doing
4X.
manginas because the mangina,
the
mangina's not censored. Everything else is censored, but
Yeah.
you see the mangina.
Yeah.
Well, you can't censor the mangina.
There's no algorithm for
there's
filtering
there's
mangina.
a dick.
What do you think the weirdest shit that you guys have been a part of is? Like,
Good
as far
question.
as, like, either it might be art or just life in general. If you can
Anyone
talk
ever
about
jack
it.
off on you?
That's a
shit
good
that you can
question.
talk
No, I've caught a few public masturbators though. But,
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah, I mean, that
I've
happens.
seen
Hold on,
public
that's
peeing.
Okay, I hear about this.
It
but,
happens,
like, how
yeah.
often does this actually happen?
It happens quite a bit. I was actually just over in Clifton recently, and there was a story about a guy on the block. The guy in the store was like, "Oh yeah, we've got a guy around here that." I haven't seen it in Cincinnati, but when I lived in Seattle, I saw that a few times. 2 or 3 guys jacking off.
This is so
Or
crazy
once
to
in
me.
Burnett Woods,
Like
right by the
together,
playground.
holding hands, jerking off.
No, usually by themselves. The one guy was in a classic Geo Metro, like teal sparkle Geo Metro.
Solid choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're walking. Me and my friend are
You're
walking
gonna
down
beat
the
off
street.
in any car.
Oh,
A
totally.
Geo Metro.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what you do it
Beat off
at.
in.
Yeah. Well, it's like they say like cars are like representative of like a phallus, like a Corvette or whatever. So maybe a Metro is just like a little fucking, But fucking.
If you're jacking dick in public, you better have a nice hog, because like.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you
true.
would think so.
Look
You would
at
hope
it.
so.
You want to be like
Or tinted
Marley-esque.
windows.
I want to be a shower, dude, at all
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
You don't want no little dick jacking in public.
No,
Yeah, that's
You're
just
going to
weird.
jail for this.
Yeah,
It better
yeah.
count.
Why
Yeah.
is this guy aggressively giving me the thumbs up over here?
Yeah.
No, that guy. So we caught a guy on the street in that Geo Metro, and at the time we were actively writing graffiti. So we were like on the block, and I saw this guy go by 2 or 3 times, and on the third time, I'm like, dude, that's that fucking Metro that's driving around with his lights off. So we kind of glance at it because he's now parked, and sure enough, guys in there going to town and just eyeballing us real hard. And but
Wait, so do you
He
think
was
he
beating it to you?
yeah, staring right at us.
He was beating it to you guys doing graffiti.
Were you flattered?
Maybe graffiti.
Well, he's
Or
a
just-
lover
or
of the
just-
arts.
Or just the fact that it was 2 guys walking the street. But he's lucky because he got a private collection on his hood and windshield. Because so like as soon as I see this, I'm like, oh fuck no, and we just start coming out of our pockets with shit and fucking with his car because he's parallel parked, and so he's like, he's like jerk, like dick in hand, pants off, forward back, just freaking out, and we're just writing on his window and the hood.
Yes.
Another time.
Literally caught him with his pants down.
Literally,
Literally.
for sure. I don't even know if he had him on to be down. And then another time, Tacoma, Washington, I was at like a walk-up burger window, and as I'm walking away, sure enough, there's a dude over there, and I was so fucking tired. Like I was just like, saw that dude. I'm just like, oh Jesus, man. I just like looked at him like, dude, come on, man, and just like walked past him. But then Burnett Woods pissed me off. One of the few times I actually tried to run outside, like exercise, on some outside shit. I'm running through Burnett Woods. I pop up by the playground.
Is that the one in Norwood?
Mount Airy.
Okay.
No, not Mount Airy. Sorry, Burnett Woods is in Clifton. This was at Mount Airy.
Wait, is that the one that overlooks like the?
That's the big one.
Yeah, that overlooks.
When people are always
like,
dying of dope in or whatever.
Probably. It's so big.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude was jacking off at the playground, so I had to like.
That's so fucked up.
I had
Well,
to
you
like
can't do
aggressively.
that.
I had to like aggressively, challenge his window. But because on principle, setting, dude, it's like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Gotta crush that dude's head with a rock.
Yeah,
so
totally
fucked
justified
up.
violence.
So weird
Yeah,
we start
time for
talking about
violence.
this.
You jerk off at a playground, it's time for
Yeah,
violence.
yeah,
So
yeah.
even the police are
Right.
like, hey,
Totally.
we're not going to tell you to kill him, but I mean, we're whatever.
Yeah,
We look the other way.
They're
Is he
like,
beating off at the playground? All right.
Yeah, we
it's
get
okay.
it.
Yeah, it's all
It's
right.
so weird that we started bringing this
Probation.
up because I actually put a video on the video page, but it's been removed already. That's what I was just searching for. But there was a video of like those Indian like internet cafes that they just play games at and shit.
Okay.
And
Sure.
they're-
Oh
Okay.
yeah, dude.
You know what I'm talking about? And did you see it?
I think I've seen it. It's like he's like sniping.
So there's like some guy playing a video game and he's got headphones on and he's all the way in the corner and there's like a video on him and some kid comes up behind him and starts jacking off and comes on the kid's shoulder while he's playing the game and runs off. And the video was removed by Facebook, so it's not available. But damn, I just put that on the fucking page
it's sexual assault.
Yeah.
So fucked up.
Of sexual assault.
That's nuts.
It's like the dude didn't even fucking look at the walls to see the obvious fucking camera. It looked like a shitty place, so I'm telling you, that camera was probably gigantic. So...
I don't know if you're looking at cameras if you're doing that.
Yeah, you're just mentally ill.
What makes you want to fucking masturbate in public, or let alone on a stranger's
You're a fucking
shoulder?
psycho. That's
Fucked
why.
up.
That's why you do that.
You ever see those fucking videos in like subways where people are just sitting there recording like obvious sexual assault or people just masturbating on subways? It's so fucking weird. Why do people do this shit? Why the public masturbation? What's the thrill of it?
Yeah,
barely people. They're just animals.
You know, don't knock it till you try it. I guess I don't know.
I guess we all get to masturbate. I guess we all need to masturbate in public, right?
What was your interactions with the public meat beaters? Because I've never seen a one, and you guys were both just like, yeah, I've seen plenty of dudes jack their hogs in public.
It comes with time, man. It comes with time.
All right. Yeah, well, hopefully not, but you know.
One time I was walking to work, I saw a dude pissing outside, but like not like pissing in an alley, like pissing on a parking meter.
Oh.
And that was just like so
While
weird.
masturbating?
No, just like hog out, just like, here's my dick and I'm pissing and it's 8 a.m. and it's on a parking meter. And it's just like, dude, can you not do that?
Did you really confront him?
No, I was just like looked at him and was like, dude.
That's how you get peed on, Pat. You don't confront.
Yeah, man.
He's going to turn at you real quick.
That's not my job.
Spray.
My job is just to go, dude. And then they go, huh? And I'm like, and then, yeah. That's about it. But
well,
yeah, unexpected dong is never a good idea.
Yeah,
it's
I
never
mean, you don't
fun.
want to. You mean,
that
it's
shit.
a good point. If you like say something to him, he might be so shocked, turns around, gets a little spray on your shoes, and you're just like, dude.
Yeah, I ain't trying to get that close.
No,
I can only do
you
so
gotta
much.
yell at a distance.
I can only do this for the public good.
But to the question though, what's the weirdest thing you've ever are those the weirdest things that you guys have ever seen or been involved in, or what do you think? Like just off the top of your head, like the weirdest shit. Maybe artistically, like maybe it was something that you were commissioned to do, or maybe it was I don't.
I know
Okay,
y'all
I'll tell you
weirdos.
I'll tell you a fucked up weird story.
Tell me a fucked up weird story.
Well, I mean, it's fucked up weird to me. You're talking about like even on the job tip, but just here's a weird fucking situation. I was working for this dude, and he would often put me in like less than favorable positions work wise with painting stuff. And I'm painting this like warehouse spot, trying to make. He's like, I'll pay you X amount of dollars. You just work 5 days straight, and we'll fucking knock this shit out. Just do as much as you can in 5 days, and we'll pay you super right. I'm like, that's fucking awesome, dude. Thanks. So I'm trying to bang out these 5 days. While I'm in there, it's a big ass warehouse type of space. These guys are 2-part like spray and like Nerf foam fire retardant on the ceiling, and it's like the size of like a Home Depot. So the dudes are way over there, and there's like multiple walls kind of between us in this giant space, and I'm over here painting my thing. Later in the day, like those guys are wearing Tyvek suits, gas mask, goggles, gloves, right? And on a scissor lift 30 feet in the air, way over there. I'm over here just maybe a respirator painting on these walls. Around 3, 4, 5 o'clock, I go outside and I'm like, man, I'm in fucking Texas. Like it's like foggy. Like that's weird. It's foggy in Texas. I didn't think they had like storms and shit. And then go back in, keep painting, come back out 2 hours later. It's a whole lot foggier and like the sun's starting to go down. Like I can see like a halo around the sun. Then I come back out again later. It's nighttime and there's like massive fucking halos around every light. And I realized that like I have like 20% vision. It went so slow through the day. I didn't realize that this neurotoxin in the 2-part shit they're spraying on the ceiling can like just fucking is this crazy neurotoxin.
Fucks you up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I like, and that progressed, that vision shit progressed all the way into the night. And I call the dude. I'm like, motherfucker, dude, you got me in here working with these dudes. And he's like, oh, they said it'd be fine or whatever. I'm like, dude, I can't fucking see right now. Like, I'm wondering if I'm gonna be able to see when I wake up. Like, I was like super gray.
Scary as shit.
And all lights were like hundreds of percent bigger. Like, dude, there's the light, but there's the glow, and the glows were huge. But yeah, fuck
that is
dude.
so
Dude,
fucking
any
scary.
kind of fucking gas situation like that, it's fucking mind-blowing when it actually happens.
Tasteless,
One time,
odorless, nothing.
One time I was riding my bike over in Yellow Springs, and they have a lot of farmland up there. And there was a big machine, like some sort of like tractor, but it was like spread throughout the whole, and like it was as wide as the entire field. And they just shot a bunch of like, it looked like smoke up, and then it sucked right into the ground. It was the weirdest thing ever. And as I'm sitting there, a draft came up, and I completely felt like I lost consciousness for a second. It felt like my head was like lifted in high, and I fell off my bike into the gravel because it was so strong.
Damn. Yeah.
Just like pesticides, any gas shit.
Yeah.
Some scary shit. Like you don't know what the fuck's going on.
You want to hear some really dumb shit then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why our
Stupid question.
That's kind of the basis of the podcast.
So,
yeah.
when I was young and I lived in Price Hill, my mom and my dad signed me up for some summer camp shit to get me out of the house during the summer when I was in a Catholic school. And we went camping, but it wasn't camping. We had like cabins that we stayed in, and we'd go on trails. And one summer we went, and me and about six others of us in the group, we had a bug spray fight.
Okay. What do you mean?
That sounds like a horrible idea.
Yeah,
you guys sprayed each other with bug spray?
Yeah.
As a fight?
Yeah.
What? I mean, I shot friends
for
with
fun,
BB guns, and that was a fucking bad
We
idea.
sprayed each other with bug spray.
Like in the mouth or on the body?
You hold each other down and you say, all right, and you hold their nose and you spray.
No, but we basically gas chambered them at one point. We eventually came down to teams.
You said it like everyone's gonna get it immediately. Like we all had a bug spray fight.
Maybe that's why he hates spiders so much. Is it's like in him now. He's like, I can't fucking stand.
Did you want to hear some dumb shit?
Him mutant powers. His mutant powers is he really hates spiders.
Yeah, no,
he's mosquito repellent.
He's a bug repellent. He's like, I fucking hate spiders.
That's why he's always in Mortal Kombat with them while he's sleeping.
It kind of came down to teams at some point, and a group of them ran into this one cabin and locked the door. And every cabin had these fans built into the back to circulate air. So what we did is we sprayed all of our cans as much as we could into that fan. Yeah. It circulated air into the cabin that they were in.
Dude, that's so fucked up, you sick son of a bitch.
One dude went home.
I mean, you're a kid. You don't know.
one dude went home. Seven pride.
Yeah.
That's so fucked.
The dude went home. He's all right, though.
Dude, we all used to do some dumb shit when we were kids, though. I mean, I used to play Bloody Knuckles like crazy. I remember kids in grade...
Game.
You ever play it?
Was that your game?
Yeah, Bloody Knuckles. We used... Well, that and Out. Out was a... It was kind of like horse a little bit, but you throw a tennis ball up against the wall, and then if you throw it where it lands, and if you miss, you got to run up there, or someone pelts you with a ball. Oh, so ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
That was a fun one. But Bloody Knuckles was basically you get a quarter or a nickel or something, and you put both your fists on the opposite ends of the fucking desktop, or you know what I'm talking about, and then you flick the quarters as hard as you can in each other's knuckles until one of you bleeds. I got scars all over my knuckles because those ridges get you hard.
Shit.
Some stupid shit. I remember these other kids that would staple their nuts to their leg.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Why?
Because they're fucking idiots. Yeah. They were the kind of guys that watch a little too much Jackass and they wanted to be a little stunt or fucking class clowns. Like one of them bit off a washable marker head and swallowed it just like out of nowhere. So stupid.
People at your school were doing this?
Yeah. St. Dominic.
Dude,
yeah, in Delhi.
Catholic school's weird.
It is weird. It's so weird.
Cody, did you hear this nonsense?
No, what happened?
I knew kids that used to staple their nutsack to their leg.
Okay.
Back in grade school, they would just...
in grade school?
I mean, Steve-O did that when
I
he was
like... imagining high school. Grade school? These people need to be looked at.
I'm sure there was worse things that they did in high school, but...
Steve-O used to close out his live performances by stapling his dick and his nutsack to his leg. But, like, that dude was, like, smoking PCP and doing fucking every drug known to man at that time.
I saw the staple nuts thing at Overlook Lodge. They had a little, like, circus sideshow guy and girl come through.
Sideshow,
and
nut stapling.
Sword swallow and stuff. And but at the end, they have money in a cup. It's like $5. $5 you can either staple this, like, note to her or to him. And it's, like, his thigh, his nuts to his thigh, or her armpit or nipple, whatever. You can
Dude, that's crazy.
You can staple them with whatever, yeah.
We know someone, actually, that I'm
money
trying to get on
is so dirty.
We know someone that Luke and I both know that actually hangs weights from her genitals.
Yeah,
like as like a job.
Yeah.
Wait, as a job?
I know her.
How do you get paid?
I'll tell you after
this?
the podcast.
Well,
you know her really well.
She used to be a trucker, but then they hired Teslas, and now she's just a fucking badge hanger.
Now she's gonna do this.
So wait, Luke used to bang this girl?
What?
Is that what you're
I'm
trying
not
to say?
saying anything on the podcast.
That's pretty much what you just said.
I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that.
I don't know.
Jesus,
but
Pat
he didn't know who she was, but she knows it. He knows exactly who it is.
Oh, he knows exactly who it is.
Once I tell him.
So what does she hang from? Is she holding onto a ball on the inside with grip strength, or is it like labia dangling skills?
So labia.
Oh, it's on labia.
Fascinating.
Yeah, because they're like 15-pound weights.
There is a thing where they do basically like the Kegel thing, but they'll insert like a knob of some sort that has a rope to various weight plates, and it's like a grip strength internal vaginal thing.
What gets you into this?
Shit.
What do you want to hang out?
I'm into that
hang a weight from your dick?
Apparently dating Luke.
Luke, think
Luke's
back.
all about that shit.
Luke, think back. Were there any vaginas that you can remember that looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime?
As far as I'm aware, I don't think you guys had sex.
big garden hose fucking veins
Hold on,
coming
Luke.
through the
Okay,
pussy.
let's just fucking air it out. All right, I'm not gonna say her name.
Don't.
Jesus, Pat, no, let's not.
Don't.
What?
It's as simple as that.
I know these kinds of repercussions, and I don't want them.
No, she didn't listen. She didn't listen.
I don't care.
Luke, have a couple beers and then you won't.
You won't. It's such a stupid little thing, Luke. You were just trying to get your D wet, is all.
What, you knew a labia hanger or a vag clencher or something?
Think back.
I don't think he knows what she does behind closed
You have
doors.
a real meaty puss? You have any meaty pusses in
So,
your
Luke,
back catalog?
Luke, can I just say it? Let's just get it over with. You were just trying to get your dick wet, bro.
I don't know what you're talking
So remember
about.
at my party at my house
Really
that you
blowing
came
up his
by?
phone.
It was like New Year's.
Let's talk about this after the show. We're all gonna have a good laugh.
Yeah. I immediately knows who I'm talking about.
Oh,
Well, that girl hangs weights from her genitals for a living.
All right.
No.
Luke seems uncomfortable.
Can we talk? What do you? I want to hear the story.
Luke,
It's so bad. You don't need to say her name.
Did you know about this going in when you were spitting game at this girl?
No,
were you aware that she was
try.
a vaginal power lifter?
I didn't really try.
Vaginal power lifter.
So how much can you hang from it? Did you hang me from it?
Could you do like Olympic? Could you do like Olympic rings with it?
Yeah. Is she doing power cleans with it? What's going on here?
Yeah. Do you know what a muscle up is?
I showed up to the party.
Give me the whole
people.
Give me the whole story, bro.
He's telling it. He's telling it.
No,
Everybody
I'm
shut up,
not.
everybody shut up.
No, I'm not.
What? You just
Isn't
said,
that a crazy story?
You said you showed up to the party and what happened?
No, it was.
You're at a party.
There
There was a lady.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll fix this. Hold on, I'll fix this. Let's see what's happening here. All right, so I was at a party recently, right? It was at Sean's birthday party, and the people who this story is about shall remain nameless. But I was at Sean's birthday party. He was having a fucking little get together, and we're like, now adult birthday parties are the parties that I've always wanted to go to, where it's like 6 of like your friends that you actually want to be there, and there's no filler people, and right, you're hanging out with people. And I haven't seen a couple of these people, and I didn't know what they'd been up to in a little while. And 2 of them that will remain nameless were like, well, one of them had been on the podcast before. So if you want to go through 75 episodes and see if you can pick out one of them, the other one has never been on the podcast. And Sean's not involved in the story, and this is not his fault that it happened. But I'm just gonna.
All right, it's a mystery.
Yeah. So these guys, I get there, and we're all hanging out, having a good time and whatnot. And then I noticed they keep fucking going outside. And then they went outside and left for a grip. And I'm like, where did so-and-so and so-and-so go? And Sean very nonchalantly was like, they're down the street smoking crack. And I was like,
What?
Huh?
I was like, huh? And then he was like, yeah, they like came to me as soon as they got here and were like, we tried to get some powder for the party, bro. And he was like, I wanted no part of that in the first place. And he was like, well, it didn't work out, luckily. And he's like, okay, good, because I'm not fucking... No thanks. And then he was like, well, I mean, it kind of worked out because he didn't have powder. He had hard instead. And he was like, hard? And he was like, yeah, crack. I had crack instead. You know.
You said one of these people were on a podcast?
Crack street terminology? Yeah, fucking hard. I didn't know that either until they started saying that. Yeah, one of these people were on the podcast. I'm not going to say who.
The more you know.
You'll figure it out. I mean, if you just go through, you probably figure it out. But, yeah, so they were like, they kept disappearing to go fucking smoke crack. But they were like, we're going to smoke crack, but we'll be polite about it. Sean's birthday party, we're going to go down the street at least 20 yards from the house. Very specific.
It is classy.
Crackhead.
It is classy.
Classy, and I appreciate that. If you're going to go smoke crack,
yeah.
I don't care what fucking drugs you do, whatever. Just don't fucking cause problems and don't be an asshole and don't steal my fucking TV. And it's not at my house anyway, so I was like, I don't care if you're smoking crack. Whatever. We're going to have a good not crack smoking time in here while they're outside having a good crack smoking time. So the night devolves into I brought a lot of beer over, and we're all drinking a lot. And they came back at this point. They're high on crack. I don't know how long that lasts, but they probably 15 minutes because that's when they wanted to go back outside for more crack smoking. But they wanted to do it when I wanted to go smoke a cigarette. So there's a room full of people at this point because a couple more friends had showed up. And I was like, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette. And then they were like, yeah, me too. And they're winking eyes at each other and shit like that, like crackhead winks. And I was like, no, I'm going outside for a cigarette, boys. And he's like, yeah, me too. And they're putting crackhead arms around me and shit. But I was like, no, for real, a cigarette, making me look like I'm about to go participate in crack-like behavior. So we're outside on the front porch smoking crack
You
together.
look like you'd to participate in
Crack-like behavior.
Yeah. So I go outside just to smoke a cigarette, and I'm thinking, like, oh, you boys have been going down the street being real respectful of Sean's house and whatnot. And I come outside and light up a cigarette, And the first thing I noticed when they come outside is that the cops are outside. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I was like, oh no, this party's about to suck a lot. And they got crack. We're all going to jail. And then fucking, it turns out they're there for the next door neighbors because they're always causing problems, getting the fucking police called on them and shit like that. So the cops were there for them. And as the cop walks up and these two come outside, he kind of realizes like, oh, the cops aren't here for us. Cool. Watch my back. Pulls a crack pipe out.
Sitting outside?
Well, with the boys outside, wanging the crack pipe. And they're like, don't worry, you won't hear the whistle because the crack pipe makes a little... You're hitting it, I found out.
Oh, my God.
And they're just fucking banging the chicken bone right there on the front porch, and I was like, good Lord, you fucking fellas are retarded. And I know that word's bad, and everyone's against the word retarded, but
you called them
when you got friends smoking crack on the front porch at another friend's birthday with the cops next door, you're retarded. That's the right, I can use that word that time. Okay?
Cody is saying all this, like, I don't mean to say it like it's bad, but he was literally referring it catching the goofball on another episode. You sick fucking bastard.
Yeah, so I go inside and I tattled on him to the well, Sean was too drunk to probably give a fuck.
You told the cops about the crack.
Yeah, I went next door and sold my friend to the cops. No, I went inside and Sean's the lady was outside fucking smoking cigarettes, and I was like, they're smoking crack on your front porch. And she was like, no, they're not, and came out there and fucking they were just smoking cigarettes by that point. But yeah. See, got you out of the pussy weight story with the good crack smoking story. Good old fashioned crack.
That just happened this weekend too.
It did just happen this weekend. Yeah.
Good God.
I was actually gonna make it over there if it wasn't for the wedding, but now I'm like, don't go to Sean's for a party.
That's not true. No, it was fantastic. It was a great time.
I love that dude.
Minus the crack.
Well,
minus the crack and the cops.
Minus the two morons smoking crack. But the cops were next door, so
I don't know. Good. Were they acting crazy?
No,
it was just totally normal. Like, oh, we just smoke crack.
Were they acting?
I've been around people doing every drug known to man, but you gotta, I don't know, you gotta go really balls deep to start acting wild.
Were they acting sleepy?
No, wouldn't that make you lively? It's speed,
you don't know
isn't
how fucking crack cocaine works?
Isn't it speed?
You smoke it and you're high as fuck on crack. You're ready to do some things. You're ready to get some.
But not these people.
Yeah.
So I don't believe you. You're a liar.
Right.
He makes up stories all the time, guys.
Fair. Have you guys ever been around some fucking real degenerate retards that are out there smoking crack on the front porch of another friend's house? Not that specifically.
I don't think I've seen crack at the
Not friends.
House.
Not friends.
I'd still consider they're good people. I like them. I'll go hang out with them again.
Yeah. That's funny. I was just thinking it'd be funny if, like, in terms of defending crackheads, if you're like, no, it's cool, my roommate's a crackhead. You know, like, that's like the classic, like, anti-racism thing. It's like, oh no, my best friend's black. I have a black neighbor.
Yeah, he's
you know what I mean? But it's like, oh no, nothing against crack. Like, one of my best friends is a crackhead.
These fellas aren't crackheads. Let me be specific. The guys I'm talking about, they're not crackheads as much as they wanted cocaine. Cocaine wasn't available, so
right. That's how it goes.
Crack.
Yeah, that's
sometimes
I don't know.
You get a dollar
store.
Seems like
you're a crackhead, right?
They still seem like degenerates.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a cop there, and they were smoking crack. I'm pretty sure that's crackhead like behavior.
Yeah, it's like
They did
you don't
have
do
a
it
crack pipe.
Crackhead
yeah, you don't do that occasionally and just be ballsy in front of the cops.
It wasn't like the kind of thing where they were like, "Gee, we never does for it," and they made a bowl out of a pop can. Like they had a crack pipe.
They had one they bought from Wish.com that was recommended to them on Facebook.
Dude, that Wish shit is insane.
Oh, but what if their dealer is just like the guy and he has all the supplies?
I got into a real cracky conversation with him.
Got crack spoons, whatever you need.
Well, I'm all out of Coke, but I've got crack. Oh, well, I don't have a pipe. Well, I've got this. He's got like a bundle package.
Got a big ass duster on. He opens it up and you see all the crack pipe.
One of the lighters with the intensely large flame.
Crack lighter.
Yeah, crack lighter.
It's a technical term.
Exactly. It's true.
It's technical. You can get them all the classic pager colors: yellow, green, blue. You know.
You guys have nobody in this room has like real degenerate friends, like real.
No, I mean I've had experience like this. The first house I lived at after my parents was a band house that was like 15 people in a 2-bedroom house. I remember one time specifically, I was in my room for some reason, and as I was going out. I remember there was basically like a cardboard thin size wood that separated my room from the other person's room. They like split a room. Seriously, 15 people in a 2-bedroom house. It was a shit show. We were having a party and I go out of my room and there was like 15 people sitting outside in the pitch black, dead silent. And I guess they all did heroin at that particular time. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Okay.
They used to do that shit all the time, and I had no idea. But I mean, I only ever smoked weed, so I never really got involved with that shit. But it's just crazy. That was like a cardboard, like thin wall between me and that, just silently. I don't know how long they were sitting there for. I was like, what the fuck?
I've got tons of degenerate ass friends that do that shit, but I've lost contact with all of them, and
you don't want to be around them.
Frankly,
man.
Don't really regret it.
I'm fucking almost 30. I don't
you were
that shit.
You were like on the streets painting since you were a kid, right? I know you've ran into and probably befriended a couple fucking psychos, right? You got anything like that?
You didn't huff paint out or
anything.
anything.
You don't have to name any names.
You ever
and
met a
whatnot.
psycho?
You ever huff paint?
I don't think so.
I'm just kidding.
Not on purpose, probably. Is he Jessica White?
I mean, you guys do street art too, right? Like actual.
Yeah, just anything.
So I'm sure there's you people walk across, just come up across, and be like, "Oh man, that's some great art. You got some change."
Oh yeah.
Let me grab your dick.
Oh yeah. He ain't here. Yeah. Exactly. Like the Vine Street trannies.
What?
Like the Vine Street trannies.
Talk to the mic a little bit.
The Vines, like on Vine Street, like the trannies in the middle of the night, like those kind of like.
What? Like at nighttime, the trannies come out?
Yeah, you're talking about like seeing weirdos or wackos. Yeah. Like back in the day, they'd be like curling cinder blocks. And in like a skirt, and then and you'd be like just trying to walk down the street, and then,
hoping that you would get smacked with a center block real quick.
Yeah, and it's like you're just going to where you're going, but and then like one of them be like, hey honey, they'll try to holler at you like money date, right? And then the one like curling the cinder blocks like no, he ain't here for fucking, he's here for sucking. And like they're just like talking shit,
trying to fight over your the business that your penis
I'm just trying to keep on walking. But those classic ill scenes. Yeah.
I hear that.
Dude,
Psychos.
That's pretty interesting. It sounds like a video game where all the weird ones come
like
out
GTA.
at night.
Yeah. We're at about hour 20. I didn't realize that we'd gone past the hour mark, but I think it's time for a break.
Let's take a quick
right?
break.
We good for a break?
Yeah, break it up
real quick.
Fuck yeah, let's do that. Be right
BRB.
back, fellas. All right, guys, we're back. This is normally the part where we do the ad read and whatnot, but we did it at the beginning, but we can do it again. If you want to check out fucking Mansfield stuff, go to Jesus Christ, Cody. KNEELTONOONE.com, or check him out on Instagram, KTNO. He's got dope fucking glassware, like the glass that I'm drinking out of right now. I don't know that he would tell you this, but I'm going to tell you the beer does taste better when you drink it out of a fucking needle-no-one glass.
I don't think that's
pretty art on it.
I'm not sure that's how science works.
Well, it's how alchemy works, and that's what I'm a firm believer in, is alchemy.
Fair enough. Luke, do you believe in alchemy?
I do now.
I like The Alchemist.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Luke, are you on board with some wizard science? Is that what you're down with?
I'm always trying to back the weird.
All right, fair enough. Well, if Luke endorses it, then please visit my website, check out my Instagram, and come get some shit, because Luke believes in wizard science.
yeah,
sweet Luke.
And all of your, if I'm not wrong, all your merch is made with 100% pure vegan, non-GMO wizard science, right?
Small crafted, yes.
Yeah, small handcraft, artisanal
Yeah.
wizard
Original
science.
runes.
I think in Cincinnati you'd call it Lazarus Wizard Science.
Lazarus wizard science.
They
I like that.
The Lazarus
Miracle
Put it on the
wizards.
website.
Oh.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah. So come, buy some stuff.
Fuck
Seriously,
yeah.
do. He's got some really good quality shirts, really amazing art, and it's just he's always doing something local here. Go to an art show. It's fucking awesome in Cincinnati.
Pat, speaking of shirts, how often are you wearing Hawaiian shirts now?
I wear them quite a lot, dude.
Is this
in
the
the
new
summer, it's like my thing. I love Hawaiian shirts.
every
Are we
week
starting the
now.
podcast like this? We can a Hawaiian shirt.
Yes, we are.
Hawaiian shirt intervention.
I mean, you're the only person here wearing a Hawaiian shirt. I didn't wear one today. I wasn't like, that's a fashion choice I'd make.
To be honest, it's comfortable.
Does it breathe?
Oh, it breathes so well.
Pull up our Facebook and check out our recent episode pictures.
I had a pink Hawaiian shirt.
Let's see how many Hawaiian shirts Patrick has had
It's
in the last
probably a
couple
lot.
of weeks.
To be honest, they're my favorite kind of shirts.
No! You fool!
All right, we're back.
What happened, Cody?
Cody's an idiot.
Yes.
So is the podcast now? So are we no longer like a football or a soccer show where there's a halftime? Now it's a hockey like a show where there's 3 periods.
I don't know sports, but yes, yeah, exactly. We've turned this into a whole trimester sort of situation.
It's a trilogy.
Yeah. It's like a Lord of the Rings of Cody fucking up perpetually.
So we're ready for an epic ending. But anyways, Cody, what the fuck did you do, you fucking idiot?
I don't know, but I'm sure that the YouTube watchers will be able to tell me and laugh at me for it. But I knocked over the fucking beer, and my dick and balls swelled inside of me, and my butthole sealed up like Fort Knox when they closed the vault door. And I was like, no! Because it saw the beer go into the laptop, and I was like, oh! Like, for sure, I'm going to be replacing an $800 laptop tomorrow. Like, this is going to fuck my whole entire month up. And then it ended up being fine. It did turn out okay, but there's water on the fucking hard drive where everything, every last one of our episodes is just here. And that's it. That's just right here. All the episodes, everything. Like, our whole fucking podcast is right here. And I spilled beer on that and into the fucking thing. And to calm my nerves, I'm having one out of the can now.
So you knocked that over, too.
That was traumatic. Yeah, I feel like a real fucking dummy.
Piece of shit.
It's all in the cloud, man.
So we were just about to break Pat's balls about Hawaiian shirts.
Don't put this on my glassware. Don't make this thing where it's like the glass was slippery and that's why it happened. It was this whole can.
Explain yourself.
So if this is probably a selling point for the glass, where I knocked it over and it didn't break. All right,
that's
it's
true.
Not
Thank you.
Shitty glass. This is nice. You could tell when you look at it. This is quality shit. You can knock it over into several laptops before it even begins to crack. All right. I mean, I'll put my money on that statement.
His glass had nothing to do with Cody's ridiculous clumsiness.
The wizard science is impeccable, but my drunkenness, not so much. All right. Well, I thought you guys were going to give me a real beating. This is
nah.
a beating.
I'm over it.
Sometimes you drop.
Everything's okay.
I've spilled things.
You're a bird.
That's fair.
Yeah. My wife gets pissed because I fall asleep on the couch and I like knock a drink over my foot, and then that's a whole thing.
Bro, I fall asleep with fucking bottles of beer in my hand and like ruin the whole side of my bed. I feel
that's a common occurrence for him.
I feel like a real alcoholic when you do that. It's a whole bottle of Riesling. I was like, oh
Hell
no.
Yeah.
Oh
Hell
God.
Yeah.
Player. Yeah. Play with the $9 Riesling you got for free.
Yeah.
It's play, but just really depressing.
Yeah. Have you ever did? You know how like rosé all day is like a thing they say.
No.
Like really, it's like rosé all day is like it's like the rosé push. So like, what's funny is when you like get up early and you drink like really like refrigerated rosé, and like the middle of the day you drink like various types of rosé ales, you know, and then at night just like drink more rosé. That's a pretty ill move. So like, I was just thinking if you were like, you know, you're talking about like spilling like these, you know, wines in the bed and stuff. It's cool if it's like at least the next day it's just all like rosé, because that's like, you know, at least it matches and it's all the same flavor and scent.
But it's so
color.
You know, it's grape and you know. It's light grapes. That ain't bad.
Yeah, starting your day off with a hairdryer on your mattress just isn't the way to wake
that's
up.
The worst.
That's
Like,
rough.
God damn, did I piss the bed again?
Shit, hair dryer on the mattress.
Nope, just a bottle of Riesling this time. At least the bed smells delicious. Am I right? Allie didn't think so.
You're a mess.
Sick burn, Luke.
Yes, indeed.
Anyways,
what are we were outside rambling about. I don't know which direction it takes us. Oh, I know. I do know. We were going to talk about the alley shitter before. We were talking about Hawaiian shirts. Yeah, whatever. Pat wears Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, whatever. They're comfortable.
Alley shitter, way fucking cooler than Hawaiian shirts.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm glad you remembered that to bring that thing up.
Love the alley shitter.
Yeah. So for like a 4, 5, 6 month period, every time I pull up to the back of my studio, it's like a pedestrian way. And there'd be like a pile of human shit there, and like, God damn it, you know, just like a pile of dookie.
Well, you just use a hose and get it off?
Sometimes, but like I'd let it dry out and then scoop it into the dustpan and dumpster it.
Dry
but like,
up.
I much prefer it dried. Because it's nasty if it's like nighttime and you park there and you step in and it's just like whoop. You
stepped in it?
Oh yeah.
You stepped in human shit.
Yeah, totally.
The old dookie slide.
Yeah, totally. That's how you know you're a winner.
Is it worse than?
It's a hip hop dance move.
Yeah,
is it
totally.
worse?
Yeah. It's a real stanky
Defeated.
leg. It's like the raunchy foot. It's not the stanky leg. It's like like the fucking slippery slipper.
Is it worse than like dog? I mean, obviously it's human shit, but does it smell worse than dog shit?
Oh, when it's wet and slippery. If you slip it while it's still humid, it would definitely you catch a waif.
Especially if you fall mouth open into it.
Yeah, so exactly. So you
Real
guys
day
understand.
ruiner.
You understand the trauma that occurred for like 4 fucking months.
Falling in with it in your mouth?
What?
Yeah, for
What?
4 months. Yeah, that's what he was saying. Yeah.
So one day I'm outside.
Nailed it, Pat.
Outside daytime. outside daytime on my roof, just chilling, probably looking at my phone or something. And this guy's riding his bike down the alley, and broad daylight, whatever, 2:00. And like, what's this guy doing? And my dog's kind of checking him out for like a story above him, and he's like gets his bag off his bike, and he like starts looking around, and I'm like, oh, this guy's like stashing something. I figured it was like dope or money or like some kind of exchange.
Because you're about to scheme.
Yeah, because I'm up here, eye on the sky. It doesn't even see me like just chilling right here. I was like, dude, I was sitting here when you showed. Like he rode up to me, and anyway, it's like, dude, you're an idiot. But so he's like looking around all sketchy and shit, and like goes and stashes his big bag under a rock, and 2 PM, right? So I go downstairs. He rides his bike off, and I go out there and lift that rock up. I'm like, this is either like some dope money, something, some street transaction on my block, and it's a bag of like 3 commercial rolls of toilet paper, and so it's like, oh, this dude is preemptively loading up TP at like noon on like a Sunday, so that like this week he's got enough that every time he goes to this door and takes a shit on it, you know.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is by your house?
Yeah, right behind my studio.
He goes to this place and he prepares himself to
right,
go to this place. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he's like armed and loaded and it's stashed and it's his and it's private. And like I took the rolls, and like you're saying, you remember because I like broadcasted this scenario as it occurred, but like fucking.
After you put this online?
After I took his rolls, it was my story.
Yeah,
it was just my story that day. Cause like
it was hilarious.
I didn't see it.
It was comedy.
Well, you missed out.
Yeah, because your angle of it was like peeking over the edge, and you could see the guy like fucking around.
You ever watch A&E? What's the fucking propaganda show on A&E? It's on Live PD.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I watch that all the time.
I call it the Propaganda Network, right?
Yeah.
Like, because it's just all just like we win all the time, marching cops, fucking, just like fucking. But yeah, but I liked how like that was like the Live PD stream of like the block though, because it's like, oh, look at this dude. But I took his fucking I took those rolls of TP, and I'm like, all right, well, maybe that'll speed bump the progress, and then it hasn't happened since. So that's fucking.
You think
dope.
he saw you?
Oh, I told my dog to like, because when I was outside looking originally, I was ninja style with the cam, just chilling, like literally just messaging people, and then this guy rolls up. I'm like, what's this guy lurking on my shit for? So I figured I'd spot him. But my point.
I would be pretty bummed if I was that dude and I came back and I'm like, I got 3 rolls of toilet paper. No, I don't.
Dude, he's had some nasty ones. And there was a couple days.
Nasty ones.
Yeah, well, he came by. He had a Sherwin-Williams hat because me and my dudes are all painters, so like we're out there putting some stuff in trucks and shit. And like, there's a Sherwin-Williams hat. Like there's like 4 piles of fucking hot browns and a Sherwin-Williams hat with a.
It's never in the same place.
With a wipe stain. So that became like the shit hat, But yeah, like.
So you tell me there's been more than one shit at a time? Like, let's say I'm not cleaning that up right now.
Oh yeah, I mean.
So you have like 3 or 4 turds in a row?
Oh, sometimes yeah. If I'm not there for a couple of days, it might be 3 or 4 cycles.
Wow. God damn.
With toilet paper?
But ever since I got that TP stash, it hasn't occurred, which is primo.
He's been found out.
It's like you fought back against a bully.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right.
And you won.
Bully.
I feel like he's got like a psychological condition. That's what I was saying.
No shit.
That's like a mental disorder.
I wonder what alleyway.
Free steak out of place.
Yeah. It's like just premeditated public shitting. Like this guy's like getting it.
I wonder what alleyway he's tormenting now with this shit.
I don't know, man. That's the thing about gentrification. You never know where people go. It goes to Mount Airy, Burnett Woods. It's fucking.
He's a serial shitter, public shitter.
He's out there pooping, man.
We get shitters everywhere, man.
You got to take dumps. I mean, if you're homeless, you got to dump somewhere, right?
You said he drove up there, right?
How do you navigate those waters? Like, I know it's disgusting. You don't want to be out there. You got kids. I'm sure you don't want somebody shitting out where your kids could potentially be playing. But if you're homeless,
that's the thing. We had
it's like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, we had an altercation with a public pisser a couple weeks ago where a dude was out there pissing. It was like, again, daytime.
Serial pisser?
No, he was daytime.
He was just getting.
He was daytime drunk.
That daytime shit's weird. I could be drunk at night in a weird, sketchy part of town. There's no kids around. I'd take a piss. Yeah. Sure. I feel like I'm harming no one.
Do you even look,
in a dark
Cody?
alley?
Yeah.
What?
Do you even look for kids?
That's the first thing I check for, Pat.
Yeah, sure.
Children around? All right. No? Cool. Pull my dick out and take a piss.
If he were to ever get arrested for anything, it'd be that.
Public pissing? No, but not to derail you.
That's what we were telling that guy, too. The public pissing behind my spot, like in the daytime. It's like, yo, man. Like, we were chill about it. We're like, hey, man, like, I get it, but, like, don't do that here because, like, there's, like, kids. There's kids and dogs and stuff that play right here, man. Like, I can't be doing that out here. And he's like, He's like, no, you don't hear me though. You ain't listening to what I got to say. And I'm like, no, man. Like, there's like kids and dogs and stuff. You can't be doing that here. And yeah, he got like real buck for a second, and then he like chilled out. But it was just really funny. This guy was mad at me for telling him not to like piss on my fucking door. Did you know? He ended up leaving.
Did you know in New York it's completely like 100% legal to piss shit in public, and there's nothing the cops will do about it.
That's so weird.
Listen to Jay Ogerson talk about this on a podcast where he had some public pisser that he pulled by the collar down to the. He was pissing on the front steps of his apartment. And the police station's down the street, and he takes him into the thing, and the police were just like, well, what? People got to piss somewhere, and he was like outside in the middle of the day on the front stoop where my kids come out and play. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a real problem. What was the other thing that you had that you were
I was telling you guys, you were saying like maybe you should. Okay, so I came across this today. This is because we were talking about earlier. You were saying you want to talk about like art and stuff.
Absolutely.
So I think this is interesting because like you said, like we're two working artists, and you guys are like in the market of doing things and putting things out there creatively. I get this message today because I was tagged in this thing, right? And this woman has a T-shirt that she made with a photo of like my studio wall where it says Natty on the word Cincinnati, and she's turned into this graphic for this shirt, and like I get a little shout on it and stuff, but like I've seen like big marketing people like do that, with bigger names, where like somebody will like end up like having to go to court with like Adidas or fucking H&M or something like that. Like what do you do if like some graphic you made gets put on another shirt or is being pushed by a boutique or something? And
it's a great question.
Yeah, you just have to contact them directly and be like, hey, you can't do this because it's yours. It's this thing you created. I mean, they're trying to take and turn into their thing. I mean,
oh shit.
We're having all kinds of weird sound issues.
I got the obtuse stand. I thought I was thinking it was right here.
That's so funny.
But as you were saying, you contact them directly and you tell them.
You gotta be like, hey, you gotta get rid of it. Like, this is something I made.
What if you demand a cut into that money?
Yeah, is it a design fee? Is it a percentage over time? Yeah. Is it like a perpetuity, like interest? Like what? Yeah, or is it like a one-time thing? Like, is there, or like, what if you make that really big and then you have to like replicate that or have another look like based on it or something?
Have you contacted this person?
No,
yet,
no. This was just my topic of the day. So I just thought you were saying earlier you wanted to talk about like art related like working.
Absolutely.
And stuff. Like that's just like the conversation of the day. Like I messaged my good friends and I was like, what is this? How am I supposed to feel about this? Because I've seen big names get taken by big companies, and then I've seen like issues become of it or whatever, or big like campaigns and things, I thought that was interesting because I've never really had that happen. I know a guy that did like, and again, that's just like my studio wall.
Sorry to interrupt, but is somebody selling that currently, or is it just one shirt that she's?
I think so. I get the impression it's like a boutique.
That might be something that you'd want to pursue then if somebody's making money off your shit. Because me as an artist,
go after him, bro.
I would absolutely. I don't know. It's cool. It's definitely cool for sure. Like that's dope that you think that's cool. But give me some. You got to kick something back to me, and whatever it is. Like you said, perpetuity over time, or like a percentage deal, or a flat fee for like a design detail. Whatever it is,
at least
they owe
credit.
you something.
Give me some
they owe
credit.
You something.
Say my name in it or something.
No, so
go Rihanna on there. Just go in there banging Rihanna like what is that? John Cusack with the boom box. I'll go in there playing Rihanna and be like, say my name, wear it out. Fucking I don't know about that. But that's an interesting thing. Like but I was gonna say there's a guy in Louisville I know where just his graffiti stuff was taken pictures of, and there's a place printing shirts of that. I think he went inside and just like took all the shirts, and then it was like a big fiasco. But yeah, I don't know. So I thought that was a weird topic. What was that dinging?
Sorry, there was something going on in the background where it kept saying something's trying to connect and then disconnect. So I'm trying to fix that.
This episode might be haunted.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe the bearded.
Luke, do you believe in ghosts?
My faith and beliefs and things have changed over time, and I don't believe in ghosts.
No ghost.
No.
Patrick, ghost.
Dude, I've had some weird shit happen to me that I can't explain, but I would say like ghosts. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that there's ghosts, but I will say that there's things that your mind plays tricks on you, and things that you. There's like things. Bill. Like I remember.
Sorry, go ahead.
But like like times where I've come home and like blinds are wide open when they were closed when I left. Like I know they were closed. Some shit like that. Like that's just a weird coincidence or something. Things you can't explain. But you got to think what's logical. Like, is it just like different air pressures that just happen to do that? Would my dog grab that shit or something? Who knows? I don't know. That's a tough question.
Yeah.
I think ghosts are fucking silly, Pat.
They are silly, but I'm just saying,
believe
like,
in ghosts. What
things,
are you talking
weird
about? Your
shit
crazy,
can happen to you.
Fantastic, fucking
weird
nonsense.
shit can happen to you where you're just like, this is unexplained and it's very fucking crazy.
No, it's just unexplained by you. It's not unexplainable. You just don't. You can't explain it yourself.
Alcohol can't always hide the ghost for you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you think the alcoholism hides the ghost?
Damn. That's
I wasn't trying to.
Well, you're right. The blurry vision does kind of help with not being able to see the phantasms.
Alcoholism could be a ghost. That could be a ghost. You could be haunted by.
They're called spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is spirits for sure.
Okay.
There we go.
Yes. Now you're selling me. There are ghosts. Delicious, drinkable ghosts.
Ghost of the machine.
Make my problems disappear temporarily.
You never had anything like like supernatural or weird shit happen you just couldn't explain?
Sure, but it's just because I couldn't explain it. I firmly believe that there's no fucking ghost floating around doing weird shit.
Yeah, it's hard to picture that at all. Seriously.
Any weird shit happening, I'm just like, there's some explanation for sure. They're just like, if those things were happening and occurring in the current world that we live with, I mean, it's impossible to get away with fucking crimes now because of every camera's on you at all times. You carry the GPS tracker in your pocket. There's always something watching you constantly. You're telling me that as this has evolved over the course of the last, 20, 30 years, and there's so many fucking videos that you could never watch them all in 80 different persons' entire lifetimes if that's all they did for their entire lifetime. And you're telling me you don't have one fucking picture or video of it happening at all, and you want me to believe it because people have been believing dumb shit for years? No thanks. I just don't buy it. Like, I think that there would be some evidence or proof or something there that was completely unexplained. Like, look, it's obviously a witch. It's a witch, and she's floating around and casting spells. Like, and you would be able to. It would be somewhere, is what I'm trying to say.
You don't understand how magic works.
Yeah, makes the cameras not work anymore.
Duh, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, witches are kind of like the original urban legend.
Yeah.
It's like pre-urban. There's suburban legends and there's pre-urban. Pre-urban is like things like witches, where it's like, oh no, there's these fucking things. Yeah, that's like the urban legend. Then nowadays we have our own urban legends.
What's the suburban legend? Like that girl on the bus will jack you off if you.
Oh yeah, probably something like
some real middle school shit.
Yeah, something like
she loves Laffy Taffy. You get her the big Laffy Taffy rope right on the bus.
Yeah, she fucked the whole basketball team or something. Yeah.
That's the suburban.
Rumors.
Legend.
That's like the original witches.
Yeah. Pretty much the same thing. All right. I want to curtail all this dumbness and get into something like something of substance, something pertinent. I saw you, Mansfield, make a post about this online, and I'm curious about both of you. You guys have both individually on this podcast talked about this subject, but I'm kind of interested with you guys bouncing off of each other with this idea of digital art. Specifically, you were talking about in your post, Mansfield, you want to switch completely from doing everything tactile, things that you can touch, inks and paints and whatnot, and go just to digital, exclusively digital. Is that correct, or have you kind of thought about that again? Or I don't want to misconstrue your words.
So I'm still gonna make slaps, I'm still gonna make live art, but I'm just anything I draw, I'm just gonna do digital from now on, because like doing on paper, I can get it done way faster digitally, and I can make it better than what I can do on paper. So I just want to take my time and streamline it and make it work.
Right. I completely understand that. So you're thinking about it just from a business perspective as far as like trying to crank the shit out that way that you can make money off of it type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, just from the angle of just like, I just want to make things, and I want to make things more efficiently. So the more things I can make, the better, because I'm just going to keep drawing. Like, there's never going to be a time I'm going to stop drawing. So if I'm going to be drawing, I might as well be drawing efficiently and creating things and making it to a point where it's like I can do something with it.
Right. You can do so much with digital art, though, and it makes it so much easier and faster for you, and you can do so many other things that you never thought you could do prior, because you would have to switch mediums probably, or medians so many times when you're actually working it on paper. Like if I mess something up when I use Sharpie, I have to color that in and fill it up. There's no going back, where if you do it on Procreate, you can make it look almost the exact same and just press an undo button and you just fixed it. I feel like that would be, it's so much better when it comes to like creating new ideas, and then you can execute it on paper later, you know? At least that's my opinion with like Procreate and digital artwork.
Is this when you first got that? What did you get exactly? It was an Apple iPad or something like that?
Yeah, with the pen.
And then you get the Procreate, the Apple II pen or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
What was the learning curve of getting into that? And was that your first experience with it? I mean, actually working with it for long periods of time?
Yeah, in the past, I didn't really like working with digital pads and stuff. It didn't feel good. This feels like there's somewhat of a touch to it where it's just not, you're not gliding anymore. Like there is texture to it to some extent where it's like, okay, I feel like I can feel what this would be like. But there's still definitely a learning curve to it where it's trying to figure out what is that and then adjusting brushes to the settings that you need, because it doesn't like come a thing that's like Sharpie size. You know, you got to like figure out what is the relationship to that to what you normally work with, and then transfer that into the program. Like it goes back to what you were saying before last time you were on, where it's like you need to learn how to draw analog before you can do digital. You have to you have to understand that. Like I don't understand if anybody jumps in and just does digital that doesn't have a background in analog drawing at this point.
Right. I get what you're saying. Learn the fundamentals and the basics on like the tactile products before you jump into the shortcut method, which is that's why it's so much easier for you to streamline something digitally, because it is kind of like you can make a shortcut, but it's important for you to understand those fundamentals. A
lot of people do awesome shit on iPad for sure, like Procreate. I remember, like, you guys might know better. I was looking into that stuff maybe a while ago, where it's like, because there was like, I want to say like 2 years ago, like the Cintiq tablets was like the move, like to do like Photoshop and Illustrator through like a pressure sensitive like display. But I feel like I heard their name like suggested as the primo digital work tool, and then I feel like Procreate is just like what like most stuff is just knocked out on, you know, like that's like the.
Because with that, you can kind of see it as it's going. With those fucking pads, you had to like draw on the pad and look at the screen. It was a weird separation between the two, I felt like.
Yeah, I think the Cintiq product has something you can do on the screen. I'm not that educated in it. I was looking stuff up. I was trying to shop for that shit. But then right as I'm looking at those Cintiqs, I feel like the Procreate thing just like got real fluent. Lots of people doing good shit.
What's your relationship with that as far as the art that you make?
Just basic Photoshop, Illustrator, just like whatever I need to do, whatever element. I do a lot of like just like cut and paste, like basically like a digital collage, and then I'll print that image, and then just how a tattooer would like print an image and then like translate it through tracing paper. Like take like the chopped and screwed image, and then like translate it pen and ink to tracing paper, and then just get it fucking super high contrast, then it's pen and ink drawing, you know.
I noticed there's also with like Procreate and digital artwork with like a tablet or something, you get this weird tunnel vision. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but you're just constantly like zooming in to just get the perfect detail because you have the ability to do so. Like you can't do it on a regular flat piece of paper, but like in a digital world, you can zoom in and you just get this weird tunnel vision getting sucked up into it, and you're like, I'm focusing too much on one spot.
That's why I don't like Illustrator personally. It's just like I feel like I need to know it better, but like when I get into having to like clean up and like select and like drag these little points and like sculpt these curves with these wires and shit, I'm just like, God the fuck. Like I'd rather like print out a pretty damn close and then just like draw with like French curves and compasses and like just just have like a good curve set, ellipses and stuff, and then so it's like you can kind of build it on the computer, draw it out, back and forth. Like it's a juggle, I'd say definitely the juggle, but so all I'm saying is Procreate is pretty dope.
Yeah, especially when you got the pen. I was using my fingers when I used it, and it was very kind of complicated. But the pen, seems very awesome to use.
It's like a $1,100, $1,500 kind of range setup for like the big. What? I'm just curious.
That's so expensive.
Yeah, I think that's right. I was shopping them. They're like the big ones. I think the big pad itself is like about $1,000 or something, maybe a little more depending on stuff.
How much was your shit?
And then there's the
shit. Oh, I don't know if that's a weird question.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about like I know I was shopping that stuff and figuring out the
we
ranges.
all know it's expensive. I mean, Apple has $1,000 Apple like monitor stand right now. Or what the fuck is up with that? Is there a benefit?
Yeah,
a fucking
but
monitor
people are making
stand.
Awesome shit. It's awesome shit. It's like super modern everything.
Pricing it ridiculous.
It was over $1,000, but it was an investment. Like, because if I didn't invest in this, like, I'm just gonna keep going to the art store and buying paper and pens and pencils, and I'm gonna have to keep storing these papers and pens and pencils in places in my house.
You don't want to be a hoarder,
and I can just like keep everything inside of this thing. And it's just organized. And like, I draw downstairs in my living room. Like, my wife has put up with this for years. Like, if we're hanging out together, I love my wife. So I want to be in the room with her when I'm working. So I will just like bring my, whatever I'm working on downstairs, put it on the table, watch TV, I'll draw. She'll hang out on the couch with the dog. And we just hang out together. Mm-hmm. And dude, you know how many times like I've spilled ink, I've spilled paint, I've
on the nice carpet.
And wives are not a fan of that, man. Like they are not a fan of you putting ink on the floor. So
no.
You know, this works out way better. I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm never gonna spill anything, and I can make what I want to design.
Art supplies are so expensive, like paint.
Yeah.
When Cody and I used to paint, we would just use acrylic because that was like the cheap stuff that we could always get. Mm-hmm. But any other type of paint, like pastel or anything like that, it's always so pricey. I remember that when I was in art school, how much money I had to spend on everything to get material for class and shit that was required.
I still paint acrylics just because it's, to me, it's the fastest way to get shit done. But
it dries fast,
really
too.
Cheap shit, so you got to use a lot of it because it's not very pigmented. So like you're talking about building lots and lots of layers, so it might seem faster because it dries quicker, but the paint itself is shit quality, so you don't get very vibrant colors. There's definitely downfalls. And I was making a painting commission for shout out to fucking Clint Young. He's been buying he's Luke's cousin. He supports our podcast, supports our fucking, we don't have a Patreon yet, but he's basically our Patreon without a Patreon and whatnot.
Good
and
dude.
He bought some art off me and Pat, and it's the first time I've painted fucking forever. Like I don't like doing art for other people anymore. I just like doing art because I like doing art, and I don't post it and I don't do anything with it and whatever. But I'm hard up for money and shit. Kid coming, time to start doing some commission work. And it's like he commissioned me to do that, and then I got back into the fucking painting game for the first time forever, working with those acrylics. And I was thinking so hard. This is why I wanted to talk to you guys about this digital shit. Maybe it's over. Maybe we've talked about it too much a bunch of times, but I've really been considering moving that direction, especially after doing that painting, because I'm just like, I could have just got to here so much fucking faster and could have just got it done. And I do have some basic fundamental understanding of the basics so far, and being able to, that's all the only way that I've ever created. And I'm like, should I just invest in this? That way that I can start streamlining commissions. That way that I can actually be, it might make me a better artist, because it's like, fuck, I got to get all the supplies out, and I got to
They could kill your motivation
around me, and it's fun until you're sitting there and you're like, fuck, I only mixed up this much of this color, and now I want to use it for the rest of it, and you can't quite get to the same color. It's like with Procreate, it's all saved for you right there in a palette. You've got everything. It's like a big shortcut for me, and I was just like, goddamn, if I could do this painting in Procreate, that would be so much better. So I've just been like, it's been floating in my head, like,
you should try.
Do I fucking go to this direction and start like going digital art too? Because I was like, maybe it'll like relight a fire under my ass to start doing it again. I don't know.
I think you should definitely try it, man. I mean,
yeah, man.
That it's like, it definitely. I mean, at least for me, I don't like to be inconvenienced when I'm about to be drawing. You know, I want to make sure I have all the material I need. I want to have all everything I'm going to use to draw.
You should see my living room right now.
Like, you want to be stocked.
I have 2 little Italian sofas. It's a nice little arrangement. And I have a big like 3x5 drawing table with like a big crank on the side and shit, like right in the middle.
You just want everything you need in front of you.
Yep.
But the moment you have to go and drive all the way, like 20 minutes away to the nearest Michael's or art store in Clifton or some shit, it's gonna kill my whole motivation to go out and do any of it. I'm like, I just wanted to do this tonight, and now I have to go do this whole fucking thing and spend $30 I didn't want to spend or some shit. Procreate, you're never gonna have to worry about that again, and you get a pen. Procreate, I think itself is only like $15 on the app store.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's like
it's super cheap.
$15. It's super cheap.
The pens are what are expensive, but you can even do it with your fingers, man. You should totally try it out, because you're a phenomenal artist. You really do. You don't get enough credit, but you should definitely try it.
Do you want to try mine out? Like, you can just like try my pad out sometime.
Yeah, dude, I'll fuck with that.
All right, cool.
I'd love to do that.
All right, man. There you go.
Try it out, man.
Making deals.
There you go. Put a toe in the water. Just see how it feels. Just be like, is this something I'm cool with? I don't know.
Just like after that last painting, I was just like, God damn it! Like if I just had like an easier, faster way to do this shit without having to build like, and it is fun to do that, but like now my time is very limited with like taking care of a 3-year-old. There's another baby on the way. I'm working 45 hours a week. Got the podcast. Got to edit the podcast. But like I got juggling a lot of balls, and I'm just like, I'm trying to be the sous chef at a restaurant, and I'm like, when the fuck is there time to bust out all the goddamn paint? Like, this isn't my job. I'm doing this as a hobby. Hopefully I make $100, $200 a commission for this shit. It's not really like I can sink my teeth into it too much. If I had that iPad and fucking like Illustrator, I feel like I could crank some shit out.
Oh, Cody, you feel bad for me.
What? What? Not at all what I'm saying, Luke. You piece of garbage.
Totally discredit him.
My life's hard. Give me
water.
stuff.
Oh God. Oh no, I'm not saying give me stuff. I'm saying like
give me an iPad. Feel bad for me. Wow.
Not what I'm saying. No, I'm thinking about buying my own iPad, but like trying his out might make me buy an iPad.
We're gonna have to start a GoFundMe now for Cody's iPad.
Hell yeah.
No, I'll just buy it like a grown ass man. What are you talking about? No, you don't need no GoFundMe for me to buy a fucking new art thing that I want to do in my own time. No thanks. Keep your money. Do that myself.
When you buy your iPad, you're gonna be like, "This is I bought my own money, not your money."
Not anybody listening.
Yeah, all me.
My own money iPad. No one else's. What is Danny? You're doing these big ass, giant, huge, insane murals over and over again that I keep seeing, and I've got so many fucking questions about this over and over. And I know I've asked you these questions before, and you're just like, Christ, everybody asked me this is the same.
Okay.
It's probably like when a comedian goes on a podcast and is like, how'd you start comedy? It's probably the same fucking questions, but I just can't get over how quickly like somebody that's doing mural art is able to streamline this shit. It's like you work with the quickness of.
That's right.
It's like what you're talking about with streamlining shit on a thing, and I'll never be that level of artist that can just get up on a wall.
Quickness of
warm 3
butter.
days and bam, it's all done. It's all figured out. How the fuck? What kind of setup do you go into?
How do you do it?
Stay broke, man.
Stay broke.
Stay broke.
I mean, more specifically, like, do you come in with a big game plan? Like, you have sketches, you've got, like, all your paints picked out? Are you, like, figuring it out on the fly? Like, or is it a job-by-job process?
There is definitely a process. I actually just recently started, a friend of mine, the force is strong in this one, in the past week or two, he quit his job to come work with me and stuff. So, like, I'm like, in terms of talking about the process, like, that's kind of what I've been thinking about the last, like, week and a half or so is, like, how to instruct a method of productivity. So that's a pretty cool fucking thing. It's just like obsessing on that flow lately. Did I lose you on that answer?
Not at all. I was still listening. I was just asking.
No, I was trying to think if I could remember the original question.
Process or setup for doing. Let's make it a more specific question. You talking about the one that really like blew me away that you did recently was the fighter airplanes where you had like
squirrel mural.
That was super cool.
It was dope as fuck, and it's got I can pull up a picture of it really quickly while I'm talking about it, but just so that us in the room know what we're talking about. But it's this big fucking mural on this wall where you've got here I'm just gonna pull it up. You guys hold the conversation down for a second.
Squirrel mural. It's a squirrel and Spitfires. Spitfire planes and like.
How'd you come up with that? They say that this is what I want, and then you're like, all right.
A friend of mine has an affinity for squirrels, and owns that property, and likes old airplanes. So
like squirrels,
just
like a lot, like really, really like squirrels.
Like if you had like a mascot, his mascot would be a squirrel. So it was like include squirrels, include old airplanes. So we mutually agreed it should be a squirrel flying an old airplane, and then.
Do you pre-draw it before you paint it up there? Maybe get an idea, like just a little pencil, quick sketch, like this is where I want everything placed.
The Bulldog was a dude sent you that I saw on your story, right?
My dude Dan, 6th Sense, the boy.
And you just get that, you're like, what do I do here? And then
he's my character, dude. I really wanted to put him on to actually paint that bulb, the bubble that was on the bomber plane.
This is just a chunk of it, but like this is the squirrel side of it, and they're dropping acorns out of it.
Yeah, they're shooting the acorns, and then the bulldogs are.
You got a full big picture of this on your thing?
I probably do, man. I need to update the site, huh? Scroll down a bit.
Let's go to Danny's photos.
Yeah, shit's pretty colorful.
All that fucking artwork you do. How the fuck do you come up with this before you start painting?
It's
all insane. We're just scrolling by other questions.
Is there a lot of math? And
go up right here. Right here, this purple magenta shit. Here, you're asking about process.
Right here on this guy?
Yeah, look at these. All right, I think I did these in order. Like if you click to the left, One time to the left.
Oh yeah, one time to the left, absolutely.
Yeah, one time to the right. Okay, so this is like the whole office, but if you flip through, you can see the sketches, how they pertain to. So like people talk about like a elevator pitch or like a napkin sketch.
Oh, there it is.
This is like a layout of the wall with the door and the corner. So that face is like on the corner.
This is fucking.
And in your head, you're like, where those boxes are, I'm gonna do little gradients.
Yeah, like some kind of like parallelogram, 3D grid structure, crystallization.
Is this with cans? Are you doing this with spray cans?
This is predominantly, all the colors are spray and then the white brush paint.
How do you keep it so close? This is where I'm just like, how the fuck do you do? I get it, like lots of love and lots of time and lots of stand broke and shit and like real hungry. I get, but the real answer, like, how do you fucking keep your lines so? Like you're doing like a very different color next to a very different color over and over again.
With
these
complex,
gradients
with
that
complex
build
fades and strong fucking lines.
I mean, I see it. There's gradients in every one of these boxes. So it goes by a gradient, listeners. I mean, it goes from dark to light in like a different color spectrum. So for instance, we'll talk about this little block right here. It starts real light up here, and then he's got a light source that he's basing this off of, and then it goes into different like gradients of the blue color that he's working for until it goes black. And then you're doing it over and over and over again. And I'm just like, how do you? Where the fuck do you begin with something like this? Like, I don't even know. Like,
I get that part. Like that part, I can like sort of understand, but I don't get the white lines. Like, how do you keep them that solid and crisp and like there's no bleed over. It's just like straight line. Boom,
is this freehanding or is this?
I was trained by underwater ninjas.
We'll never get a straight
answer.
answer.
All right, fair enough.
Sword fighting jellyfish told me how to pull a line. And yeah,
that sounds badass. I appreciate it. I appreciate
it's
the
solid
answer.
training. You can't fuck with that.
Yeah,
I carried water buckets up the stairs to the temple every day.
I mean, it's fucking insane. Like if you look this shit up, because your art really blows me away, more so than a lot of people. Because I just look at it and I'm just like, how the fuck did you do this?
So you saw that drawing to the thing, like translation of the sketch to the wall.
Yeah, you're talking about.
So you saw that. So you
right
can look at like each of the sketches for that one. Because that's cool because that's like pen and ink drawing. This is great. The construction hand of God, right? Like Michelangelo's God, Sistine Chapel touch. So that's like God's hand, pentagram, circle, and stuff. Reaching down, coming out of those construction lines of data points. This is Procter and Gamble's machine learning office. So like. It's I was thinking like the electronic like God hand coming out of like the 3D grid and it's analytics and measurements and shit. Yeah.
That's so fucking crazy.
I kind of like how there's like a hidden pentagram-ish type thing in like
you put that in there like
in the Fortune 1 company of the planet.
God, this is crazy.
Yeah, brain like electric.
Did you guys ever, out of curiosity, did you ever like try to go be a tattoo artist? Is that something?
Yeah, dude, I apprenticed with a good friend of mine. I actually need to call him. He's blowing me up today about a job. I apprenticed under my dude Sugar up in Erie, Pennsylvania, for a long time, and wasn't making money, but would get calls back here in Cincinnati for paint jobs. So I ended up leaving there.
So you were a tattoo artist?
I was trying to be. I really respect him a lot, and I shouldn't really do it without like his like leadership. But I worked for a period of time with Sean over here at Tattoo Makers, where Sean understood where I was coming from and see if we could like work something out there. But it's a money thing. I had clients in this world calling me, and I wanted to like learn more of that. And so I just ended up was like, all right, just fucking call it and fucking go 100. Yeah.
This is insanity, and there's a bunch of them.
These are on panels, like 3/16-inch panels that were painted in my studio, and then I took them there and installed them, like cut them to fit. That's a Galileo quote.
And you got to know how to do all that shit too. It's not just the fucking art. Like you got to know how to like use a table saw and fucking measure shit.
Oh yeah,
and
right.
Make sure that everything fits properly. Like this isn't one. It's a very multifaceted thing that you're working with. Like, you're not just doing one thing or two things. You're doing, like, 17 things every time that you're doing a project. It's like you got to know how to use a scissor lift and fucking get all your paint cans right.
Yeah, you got to be insured out the ass for, like, lifts of, like, big rental lifts and stuff. And,
Is it fucking insane money? Like, I'm not asking for a specific price, but insane money to like buy the can, just the cans alone.
Oh, paint. I try to get the best deals I can, like through
you
like
get sponsorships or anything.
Not sponsorships, but like wholesalers. Like just try to get as close as I can to the people that sell it to the people that sell it to the people.
Right.
Fucking. I mean, that's just a nominal thing, you know. That's. What was I thinking though? You're talking about. paint stuff. Man, I'm sorry, I lost you for a second.
It's okay. I was talking about how much money it must cost to like do the setup for something like this because these cans are very expensive.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in this case, and okay, wholesaler and levels of paint. So I have my I do what I can to get the best deal I can, and then select the the paint that'll do the job, and I'm not trying to spend out the ass. So like this actually entire job was done with a paint. It's not called dope, I don't think. It's called something else, but it's a more like economical aerosol, but the pigments look great. So like I did this whole job in that shit. And it was like a good deal to get the paint. Like talking about paint expense, it was good color paint for a pretty cheap price. I painted all this shit in my studio, and like gassed out like my upstairs neighbor at the time, the next door neighbor through a brick wall. They live in a firehouse next door, and like he was smelling vapors in his AC next door. Oh jeez. And we don't even share a wall, but the vapors off this shit is like so noxious. So like I did this shit for like 5 or 6 days in my spot, and then clear coat it and take it to P&G to do the install. I spent like 2 days installing it in the office, and just like it stunk so bad. Like that shit smells
in the office.
Toxic.
Still smell.
Toxic.
Like it was just gassing out for fucking ever. And like that's like talking about budgets on paint, pigment. Great. I knew it was going indoor, so like UV quality didn't matter at all because it's gonna be inside. It'll be like it's in like humidity, climate controlled, fucking tinted shade. It's gonna look that way, but that shit stunk so bad. So I felt bad after I installed it.
That's something
I wonder if that.
You ever pass out from just doing spray painting in a small area?
No. You get like rubber boogers or something if you're like
rubber boogers.
Like if you're like spraying like Rust-Oleum indoors or something a lot at a time. Like you definitely have like look like your nostrils look like you're a roofer.
Do you ever get worried about that specifically affecting your health? Like how much pain you must have breathed in?
Yeah. I definitely hear a lot of people talk about that, like different, like maybe that's an urban legend, the various things that occur to people when they take a lot of those fumes. I hear all kinds of stuff about like bladder control later in life and some other stuff. A friend of mine did an interview with a doctor about it, and I think they were comparing it to like heavy narcotic use, like brain damage, where like his friend who could scan the brain of his friend that painted a lot of trains and stuff. The claim on that was that when he saw his brain, he was asking if he had like a history with narcotics, and this is a guy that's like doesn't do drugs, doesn't drink and stuff. Right. So the doctor implicated him in having like heavy drug use based on his damage in his brain so that's pretty interesting potential. But that's the only case I've ever heard.
Who knows what other factors could have contributed to that also. Like, there's no way to say definitively that that was just because of this. You don't know. There's no camera or microscope in that person's life that you could actually figure out that this one thing was the cause of this brain damage specifically. Could have been genetics, could have been a lot of things.
We're talking about those vapors, but I did tell a story earlier about going blind from some neurotoxins, so... shit, that did happen one time.
There was something you said in the middle of that you kind of grazed by, but I picked up on because it was like... It's a factor that I don't ever think about because the art that I do just doesn't. I guess I've never had to think about art on the level that you've probably had to think about every project that you ever do. But like UV quality, like you have to consider how much the sun's gonna damage and affect the shit that you're painting outside. Like I've never even considered that until you said that just now. Yeah, I was like, so there's certain paints that you can buy that like they've tested them over time to where you know that it's gonna uphold under like strong fucking UV rays all day.
Yeah, it's just like various top coats. You can use paints that are more prone to that too, like color fastness in the paint. But yeah, there is definitely good UV clears. And that's all just research and shit. I mean, it's like being a fisherman and like learning all the different rods and reels and what they are and shit. Like, there's always new shit popping up and old shit going, and you're like, oh, you ever use this? And everybody's always asking each other if they use this and that, and
I mean, it is all just research, and anybody could just do the research and spend the time, but like it's very different when you have done the research and spent the time because many people don't do that. And that's what, I mean, to you, you're just you, but when other people look at your shit, you're like, holy fucking God, man, you've really put in a lot of time on this. I know it's hard to sit here and take compliments.
Oh, shit, dude. Yeah, it's paint science. Today, what I'm working on right now, on that paint science tip with surfaces and durabilities and things, I'm painting an ice cream truck. It's like a mobile soft serve thing. And it used to be a Harley trailer, and then they covered it with baby blue truck bed liner. and aluminum, gloss aluminum. So they were like, we can't find anything to stick to this, so they can't have any graphics made, right? Like I like to say, I paint what you can't print, right? So like nothing's gonna stick to this trailer, but something will, right? Metal, glossy metal, and this like fucking truck bed liner. So we're painting. I'm making the bottom look like a waffle cone, and the top you can just like candy stripe it. But what's gonna be cool about that is we're talking about the clears and the science of surfaces and things. That's like different than painting, is understanding like what's gonna hold and color fast, like what's gonna hold.
What do you mean by color fast? I use that.
Not fade. Like a vinyl car wrap, you'll go by that in 5 years and it'll be all chipped up like a sunburn or whatever, you know. Like they look real good for like a year or something, and then it just looks like shit.
Oh, so those are dumb fucking ideas? I didn't even know that. The vinyl wraps, because I see them and I'm like, that looks dope. How much does it cost?
I think they look dope when they're fresh. I know a lot of people got like the full body wraps, and when it's like a paint job wrap, I think those are perfect. Like when it's just the paint job, because that's just like a clear and a lamp. That looks beautiful. Right. But like, you know, you see like an old sign on a thing, it like looks better if it's like painted after time. But what got me on that?
Dude, we've been fastness and vinyl wraps, but you were talking about painting the ice cream truck and paint science specifically, understanding what paint's gonna stick to what texture.
Yeah, the durability of like and durable stuff that's gonna grab that thing. Like that's definitely some, like you're saying, beyond just like painting, like other shit to worry about. Like,
do you have to test those surfaces whenever you paint on something?
And do you get
new
free
that
ice cream?
You're not familiar with?
Kind of. I'm kind of testing everything about it. Do I get free ice cream? I don't know if I satisfy him.
Would you ask him? Like, are you too embarrassed to ask him?
As long as they're super, I want to make sure that they're done, that I'm done doing the thing, and they're happy with what's been done. And
can I get some sprinkles too?
Yeah. I'll bring you some sprinkles personally.
Would you?
Yeah, a little side. I'll pay for my ice cream and get you a free side of sprinkles every time.
I gotta save this for Pat.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Oh shit.
That'd be the first thing I'd ask if I'm doing something for an ice cream company. Like, yo, can I get a drumstick?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's your go-to in the negotiation process.
Yeah, can I get some fucking ice cream, bro? So give me a scoop, bro. Don't be selfish.
Yeah. I want it tipping, fill it up so much that it has to.
It's hot out.
I want where it doesn't fall over.
I want a fucking scoop of ice cream.
Yep.
That's so hard to ask.
Yep. Get it.
Get it, he says. That's super cool, though. Man, that's got to be a fucking project, though. Do you have to do it outside, or do you go in like a garage and do it? I would hope a garage.
Dude, I'm so sunburned right now. You guys don't know my typical skin tone, but I don't know. You might be able to see right now. Am I like?
Oh my God, you are burnt, motherfucker.
That's from yesterday and today. You're asking if I did it inside. It's been like the hottest days of the year. I'm Irish as fuck.
Feel it.
So you look like somebody spilled strawberry quick on a white T-shirt,
dude. Yeah,
like
it's rare insult, right
dude.
there.
I consider myself so pale.
It's amazing.
Say that again.
Nothing.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I'm so like normally I'm just pale or burnt, but like right now. So yes, I do. I'm painting outside on this trailer in the scalding sun the last few days, but
I couldn't work in.
Couldn't you do it at night, like to set up some lights and shit?
When I leave here, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to do the final like 5 or 6 hours after this.
Yeah, dude, fuck doing that during the day. There's lights that are powerful enough you could see it and whatnot.
It's a time delay because they can only have it down for a period of time. So like they're like setting aside time out of their work schedule to like make it accessible. And if I don't, I don't want to have to chase it around if like I haven't done something to it or whatever. Yeah.
This goes into working quickly. What is a project like that? How long do you quote them for a big ass ice cream truck trailer? Like, would you tell them like it's gonna take this many days? You're pretty confident about that time period, or like how does that work?
I do a couple things. There's various methods. Too deep for this podcast. There's various methods of construction. Yeah. Because we'd go in on like a long like.
He needs to start another podcast, like some of these ideas and things that you're talking about, but the quick and fast.
But yeah, so I kind of have a way to value it and how to build that. Like, what is that value of that thing? And then there's like multiple ways to justify that value. So you could describe a price or a cost based on all sorts of things, but really there's a value to it. And after doing something countless times, you like, okay, you know, you step away at the end of the day of the actual end of day thing, and you're like, okay, after it's all said and done, like you assess like what it was worth, what you got paid, what you thought it was, what, you know, you assess all that stuff, and like over time you're just like, you kind of recognize like if you walk away from a thing that looks like that, it's, you know, this much time or this much value. Like, you just kind of, so it's like, what's frustrating is kind of having that thought process, but then at the same time, whenever you're doing anything, somebody will walk up to you and say, like, what's something like this cost? But it's like, is this like a wall on Kroger, or is this like a, you know, like a Nigerian corner store? Like, you know,
say it's on Kroger.
Yeah, right. Then that's, you get that, you know what you're dealing with, so you want to, you know, try to get as, you know, much as you can.
If you're doing a fucking installation for P&G, I'm gonna try to bleed them dry. Like,
right, you'd hope. Yeah,
how much can I go? How much can I get?
I try to just like
you're doing quality. It's not like you're ripping people off. I try to get as much goddamn money for your art as possible every time.
I express that to people that I work for constantly. Is like, I'm just totally transparent on that shit. Like, it's like I'm not trying to like get over it, because a lot of people have sticker shock, man. You know, and it's like, I'm not. I've
never heard of that.
What, sticker shock?
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Like when something costs too much, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, you flip over like a shirt, and you're like $75 for this shirt.
Okay, I've never heard that before.
You never heard of sticker shock?
Never.
Kids these days.
I know.
Fucking.
I'm eating Tide Pods, bro.
Yeah, shit. Get it. What vape them, bro?
It's situationally different, though. It's not always something.
Exactly. It's all It's all unique. Every single fucking thing is one of a kind. Every fucking single. There is no double anything. Like, you know. And then, like, yeah. It's just. It's like, when it's like your business. It's like if you guys. It's like your logo. Like. You know, when you drive by a place, like, that's the thing you fucking see, you know, like, I don't know, so there's like, what value is that? Like, it's like, this is like what my place is, this is what my place looks like, you know, this represents, like, this is gonna draw people to me that didn't want to come here, so, but then they're like, we only got, you know, $200 left, and it's like, well, fuck, like, let me just like put your fucking belt buckle on your whole goddamn life real quick. Sorry I bothered you for like a cell phone bill or some shit, you know, like, it's like, how do you value, like, you know what I mean? Like this is your business. It's like, and so the more you respect, vice versa. Like, I mean, somebody could come to you all day and offer you $5 or $10 for a quick thing, and it's like, okay, well, they're offering me $5 or $10, and you know, like, you're gonna scribble something down, but you're gonna think about what you have to do. So it's like, where do you balance between, you know, you making it worth it? Like, how much does your life cost? You know, like when you. You know, you're like, fuck, it's fucking Thursday. This, you know, what, today's the 2nd. Like, is like, you know. Is like rent paid, car payment, insurance, cell phone. Like, you gotta do all that math, and like, but you're like, but there's just this guy at this bus stop asking what something like this cost, and you're like, you know.
I appreciate that it isn't a hard and fast answer. Like, it's always gonna be this price. So, like, it's a very situational.
There's a value.
Like, you think about it.
I feel like there's a value. Yeah. Like, I bet you run into that with like graphics. Do you do like spot illustrations for like graphics?
Yeah, for different shirts and stuff. And then it's like,
because there's a value for it. It's
yeah.
Like, was it the hour and a half? Was it the 6 hours? Like, was it being able to do it in an hour and a half? Like, was it because it's going on this fucking shirt, or for these people, or to these places?
There's factors.
Yeah.
I like to charge by like my time on it. It's not what the design is. It's just how long is this gonna fucking take me to do? Right. And then you're outside getting sunburnt as fuck. Doing it. I'm like, I would factor that in with my price. It'd be like
SPF factor.
Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be an extra couple $100 right there.
Yeah.
My thing's always like, I don't want to paint for anybody else but myself, so I'm like, I'll just give you a ridiculous number that I assume nobody will ever pay, and then people pay it, and I'm like,
that's the move, right?
All right, cool.
That's the goal.
I keep it the same. I try to keep it the same, unless it's like gonna take me a long ass time.
I have an ideal, like we're talking about rates. I have an ideal rate. I think similar, like a graphic designer or like a tattooer would have like a unit of time and money.
This an hour.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like, I kind of have an ideal rate. So if I can get it to match that rate. I mean, that rate's built on like the cost of life, the cost of having a place to make the shit, you know, getting the actual plate stuff there, and then like profit, right? Like, so it's like there's things, yeah, fuck.
You said you did some artwork next to the aquarium or on the aquarium?
Oh, Newport, yeah, Newport on the Levee, because they got.
Where did you do?
They got bought by North American Properties. There was a big blank wall outside.
Is it where on the aquarium? Is that you did the sharks and all that shit?
No, that's on the other. I wanted to do that. My friends, I was supposed to be able to submit something for that, and I think it got done by Artworks.
I think so. Yeah.
The opposite side was just blank concrete, and when North American Properties purchased it, they wanted to like upgrade it to make it a more outside space. So like that's where they did the ice rink out there and stuff this past year.
Oh, now I know what you're talking about.
So that was like raw concrete. So that was that was cool because that was paint the whole thing white, properly paint the letters, and I like that. I really like that one because.
Do you have any creative space on it at all, or they tell you like this is what I want, and you're gonna do this?
Budgets, and they're good. They knew exactly what they wanted. They wanted a blank white wall for like projector stuff, with that logo at the top. So they just wanted a totally blank slate for light stuff. But what I like about that a lot is the great white paint job, but the black letters are super stark and clean, and it's like a really dimensional surface, like a 6-inch like peak and valley and the cinder blocks up top, but like from the ground it looks like laser straight. And what I love about that one is like it's like a spray paint outline and a roller fill, and like I feel like that's like the biggest roller fill in the city, but it's just like perfect type.
Nice.
Like
hell yeah, dude. It's like, that's awesome.
That's my favorite thing about how simple that is, but it's like, dude, that's fucking spray paint and roller fill,
That's gonna be interesting, though. I mean, you get to look at that all the time. I think that's what's the craziest shit about doing what you do specifically is you get to drive by and like, dude, man, how many people get to see this a day?
Dude, lately I'm so appreciative of that. I had like 4 or 5 friends come through town recently, and like everywhere we went, like I really noted it in the conversation. Like I love that we're driving down this street, and like I'm like we did that. Like I took my kid and lady to see Godzilla at the drive-in.
Hell yeah.
Way out east side, and on the way out there, it's like we're out here in we're about to be middle of nowhere, and it's like hey, that's that thing I was doing, and that's that fucking thing over there, and it's like just in these weird places,
I think that's like a huge benefit of doing art for anyone or anywhere in general. It's like you get to see that later and be like, man, I did that shit.
Dude, my dad does the same shit, but with construction.
Oh yeah, dude, I thought you
were gonna say with meth though. No. My dad's the same way.
You'll drive anywhere, and you'll go, I'll build those.
That's me, all me.
Those apartment buildings, those infrastructures, that cul-de-sac. I built that building.
Absolutely, tradesman life,
dude. Even like just doing something like that, I mean, you feel a big, huge part of like the city's history almost, because those buildings stand for 100 years, 50 years,
right up to some of the oldest buildings in the country.
Yeah, and like that's so cool that you say, oh yeah, I helped build that shit.
I
like
bet
any kind of building in general,
building.
I would be like, yeah, I helped with that. That's like the basic fundamental of just like being human is creating and just being proud of it, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong.
No, I've been super appreciative of that lately.
Yeah.
There's a thing that I wanted. This is a complete shoehorn, and I apologize, but I wanted to shoehorn Mansfield's fucking story in because you sent us a chat about it, about getting choked out or whatever the fuck.
Like, you got choked out?
That happened.
I wanted to randomly bring that up.
What happened?
No reason.
You got choked out?
Everything.
Are you okay?
You're like
Mansfield once wrestled 5 guys.
You're like,
they kicked the shit out of him.
Hey, here's this cool or stuff's happening with you.
A cheeseburger?
Hey,
5 guys.
I heard you got knocked out. All right, awesome, good times.
No.
Well, tell me what the fuck happened.
You brought it to us, and you were like, "This is something interesting that we could."
Yeah,
a sweet tank.
So I was like, after my piss, I was like, I know what I'm gonna shoehorn in once I come back into the room. Yeah, whatever you're talking about with your fancy murals and whatnot.
Hell yeah.
All right, man. So tell us about that time you got.
I went to sleep. That was weird. So
it was in class, right?
No, it was the open mat. So I was the open mat on a Saturday, and
that where what was open mat? What do you mean?
It's where everybody.
He said it like we all do jujitsu.
It's
like
where everyone enters a mat, and it's
Randori.
just a stare down, and everybody just goes after the first guy that makes
every man for himself. Like dodgeball with
do they call
just
it
your
Rondori?
What's that?
Do they call it Rondori?
No, they don't.
Right.
So what's open mat?
That's what I said.
Please educate me.
So
who's this Matt?
I really like Luke's take on it, where we're just like all crazy Viking marauders that are just killing each other for 2 hours. So no, it's open mat. Like you go, you show up, you go to the gym, and there's the mat, and there's dudes on it, and they're wearing. Well, there's ladies too. There's people, humans, and everybody's got gis on, and then you go out and you do jiu-jitsu with humans. It's pretty fun. It's a good time.
And you went to sleep.
Yes, so
you were tired. You didn't have enough coffee.
Were you just like? Did you sleep the night before?
No, he got pwned.
No.
Oh.
That's the long dick wizard of the Hamilton Woods.
Go knock out Luke.
Now.
You can knock out Luke.
I don't want to fight Luke because he's always trying to fight people on the show. So
yeah, why are you always trying?
Me. Usually just me.
Yeah.
No, he'll fight anyone.
Nobody wants these hands.
Nobody.
Luke, how have you become so confident in your
Have you been in a fight, Luke?
Huh?
Have you been in a fight?
Nobody's ran away from many.
I've run away from many.
You've never been in a fight, like in a physical conflict?
I've been in 2 fights.
With fists flying?
Yes.
What happened?
I imagine windmills and a girl was his opponent. Both times.
It's like fighting in Denmark.
Is that how they fight in
basically
Denmark?
wrapped it up.
Windmills and
Man v
babies.
woman? Oh. Okay. Now I see where you're
I
going.
just picture like fighting a milkmaid like under a Dutch windmill. You're like
That's how I imagine Luke fights
like,
too.
yeah.
With shoes on and everything. No, but continue. You
Mansfield,
were
you
open
went to
mat.
Okay, so I was an open mat, and I was rolling with the guy, and he did a bread cutter choke to me, which is where you basically just like drop your forearm across somebody's neck.
Oh,
and I was like,
Perform on Luke real quick, just so we can see.
okay.
Yeah. Can we see it on Luke?
This is
Okay.
going places.
Yeah.
All right.
You really can't do it that way because you have to be on the ground. Anyways, so that happened, and I was like, oh, I'm cool because it wasn't like crushing my Adam's apple. I was like, all right, like I can still breathe. But then I turned to the side when he did that. That gave up one of my carotid arteries. And then at some point he got underneath the other one, and I was like, oh, I'm cool. And then when you pass out from not getting blood to your brain, it's just kind of like warm underwater swimming. Like, It's not really bad. You just kind of drift away.
Isn't that scary as fuck?
And then apparently you get woke up because people are shaking your feet and you were snoring. So, yeah, it's a weird return to the world.
I've been knocked out 2 different times. One of the times I remember that specifically feeling that like, fuck, like I did not even know. I woke up to like 3 guys on me like, man, you got knocked the fuck out. Like,
Wake up
it
from
was
a
just
dream.
ridiculous. I was getting
passed
dry
out in
hump on my
church.
friends.
Well, and another time you got hit in the head with a bass or a guitar, and then Luke
yeah.
finds it the funniest thing ever.
I'm surprised he didn't laugh at any of this.
I passed out
too
in
stoned.
church.
What?
What?
What, someone
I've-
like put you to sleep in
I've
church?
seen you pass out twice. I don't
Yeah.
know how the
Wait,
fuck you
you've seen him
pass
pass out?
He passes out from smoking too much weed. He's fucking smoking it. Swear to God, not even making this up. This man is fucking tell the church pass out, then I'll watching
did
you
you
pass
fall
out
and,
two
like,
times.
headbutt
Church
someone?
was before I discovered marijuana.
All right.
Okay.
Go
so-
to the doctor
Obviously.
then, you fucking psycho. There's something wrong. You shouldn't just pass out.
No,
Keep
this
going.
one was heat involved for sure. So I was. This was when I was an altar boy. I think I was in 5th or 6th
You were an altar
grade.
boy?
Yeah, dude. I went to church 2 times a week, Fridays and Sundays.
2 times a week.
Yeah, man. So
Poor,
I was
poor
an altar
soul.
boy, and I was kneeling for like an hour and a half straight.
Just
during
catching
this
some sweet
service.
priest dick.
But like
Body of Christ.
it
my
was
son.
hot as fuck and in the dead of summer, and they had the ceiling fans going, but it was just stirring up everyone's disgusting musk in the heat.
Oh, I remember
And-
those days.
And
Especially that sweaty priest dick
Good-
right there.
good
and we
calling.
had we had one altar person who was a volunteer girl who would come for service on the weekends because this was a Sunday service, and she was tall as shit and she smelled super fucking bad.
Did you tell her? You're like, dude,
No,
get some deodorant, bro.
she was a giant.
Was she musky?
Very.
Just-
and you had to sit and kneel to her?
Just
I
feel
was
with musk.
kneeling next to her for like an hour and a half, and the fans weren't helping, and I just blacked out right there.
You
on-
passed out because she smelled like you were
Damn, you
She
got
smelled
knocked
bad,
out.
and it was hot. Yeah, I was out.
Damn.
Did they stop mass or did they continue like, oh, the body of
No,
Christ
they moved.
compels
They
him?
moved my body right off of the altar outside,
Kept going?
and went right back on with the show.
What, the other altar boys and girls took
I
you
woke.
away?
Yeah, I woke up
Man.
outside on the side of the church with
You
my
caught the
mom,
vapors,
and
you were feeling
everybody was
Jesus.
inside, just back at it.
They treated you
Did they
like
say anything after? What'd you say?
they treated you like a crowd surfer at a concert that got fucked up, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not going to stop the show for this." And they handed you to the
Cart
security
you out
tent
real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Father Bob.
I watched you black out in my room one time.
I blacked out in Joe's room and hit my
remember.
head in on
Knocked
pig
your head
place.
off of a heter or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Just from smoking too much weed both times.
I
Never
went
learned
to
his
sleep
lesson.
that time. Yeah, I
Smoke
fell
less weed,
asleep and then I
retard. What are
fell.
you doing? Why do you smoke so much that you
Yeah,
black out
goofball.
unconscious? Did you
Who
catch the
knows?
goofball? No, but seriously, like we were sitting in my room passing the bowl back and forth, just like talking, hanging out like normal.
And
Nothing
then I went out.
interesting was going on, and then fucking somebody left a strawberry. I don't know if you're familiar. Bud Light makes this garbage margarita knockoff shit. It's just
strawberry
corn
like
syrup
50
plus
grams of sugar.
red and fucking like a lot of alcohol. And I drank 2 sips of it, and I was like, nope, I can feel the hangover already. No thanks. Luke, do you want this? Sure, dude. And then he drinks 2 sips of it, and he's sitting there with it in his hands, and I pass the bowl. He passes the bowl back to me. I'm hitting it, and he's looking at me, and I'm telling some fucking long-winded story as I'm one to do. And then I just watch his eyes start rolling back, and he's got the strawberry, but he doesn't just like pass out like all calm and cool and collected. This man just like legs up, like just fucking starts dying immediately. I was like, you just gonna die in my house like that, man? Like, with the drugs that I gave you in the system? Like, what the fuck, man? No.
It was a good time.
Yeah, just like, I had to catch him, and Luke's not a big fella.
It's a difference between, like, passing out like that and then being choked out and actually having that, like, obviously you're struggling in that moment, and you kind of, like, have a panic, and then this warm, calming feeling comes over you and, like, totally
It was never like that whenever I got slept. I got slept a couple times, and it was bad every time. Woke up, birdies around me and shit. It wasn't real birds, but it's like, I know what they mean, because it's like your vision's moving all fucking weird, and there's somebody, the fuck you about to do? The fuck you about to do? Like, just over the top of your face, and you're like, all right, I guess I'm out. Well, hopefully it doesn't stop on my head while I'm down.
Yeah, all right.
And shit like that. It was a couple times. I fought this big dude named Chubbs. He came over, and Brian.
No, he was big.
Well, Brian's probably listening. His name's Brian, but Brian Chubbs. He's my friend now. This is how we became friends.
Wait,
you scared of him?
Was his last name Chubbs or was his nickname Chubbs?
His nickname was Chubbs because he's a big fat fuck. It was like 350 pounds.
Beat his ass, Chubbs.
6'6". He's a big giant monster of a man. And it's like
he's not scared of you either.
Well, so he came into the apartment we were hanging out at Kevin's house and started talking shit to everybody immediately. And I was like, I don't fucking know you. You don't talk shit to me. He's like, whatever, minion. And I was like, what did you call me? And he's like, minion. And I was like, fuck you, fat motherfucker. Come outside. And I was picking the wrong. I'm a retard. I picked a fight with a 6'6", 350-pound man that was immediately confident enough to talk shit to a whole room full of other men. I was like, probably not the dude to pick a fight with. I learned that the hard way when he I was like, all right, and I went to go swing on him, and he ducked it and just fucking knocked me unconscious, and I went down like a fat sack of bricks and stood up like everything going like this, and then he was just like, actually, I respect you for standing up to me, and I was like, thank God.
Bullshit.
I'm pretty sure that
he called you a punk bitch.
I'm about to die. No, you could call him up and ask him. No, it was stupid. It was real dumb, childish shit that happened when I was a kid. But
they became best friends after that. Chubbs would carry Cody around on his shoulders like Master Blaster from the third.
No. That wasn't the point of the story. The point of the story is like when I went to sleep, like it was weird because 1 second you're up and then the next second you're like looking up and there's somebody above you and you're hearing like shit in your ears and there's
crazy shit
stuff flashing. There's like bells and whistles in your ears. It was fucking. It wasn't like
it
wasn't like the way that you described it. Like I guess that's different when you get choked unconscious versus somebody hits you real good and you go down. It was a little different.
I think what's like craziest about like let's say passing out or just getting knocked out is like you have no control about how you're falling. So God forbid you hit a fucking corner of a table.
Or a heater.
That's how people die all the time.
Heater?
Right. Heater, that sounds like experience.
That sounds specific.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, I hit a heater when I passed out.
With your head?
Yeah, you were there for that, right, Cody?
Yeah, when you busted your noggin on the fucking heater at Joe's house.
Yeah.
Again, too many bong rips. Like,
I got too high and I got sleepy and I was sitting on a stool and there's a stool next to me. And my high ass is like, I want to get comfortable in the most uncomfortable position. So I'm sitting on a stool and I lean over like this on the other stool. And then I fell asleep. And then I tipped over and I busted my dome right on the heater.
Did you cry?
Damn.
And I laughed.
No, I blacked out.
Did you bleed?
Yeah, I bled a little bit.
Did you?
Just a little bit.
Not a lot, baby girl.
Just
Just
from
a
the
little
anus.
bit.
But that was unrelated.
My face was very sore for like the next 3 days. I've got fucking hiccups and I'm angry about it.
I can hear it. The hiccups. Is that the sign that we gotta turn it off?
Anyways,
does anybody
this was
else
fun as
fucking
shit.
hate hiccups?
Everyone fucking
hiccups
hates
are
hiccups.
Nobody likes them.
Who the fuck? Oh, God forbid you ever become the guy that gets like hiccups and they never go away.
I'd kill myself.
Like those people that have them for like their whole lives.
I promise you, I don't make it past 48 hours.
You would shoot yourself?
Yeah.
2 days of hiccups.
I knew a guy with Tourette's that would hiccup.
What?
Yeah,
no.
that
was his
That
thing?
was his tick. Was the hiccup?
Oh no.
But he didn't do anything else like crazy.
Nope.
Scream the N-word on a bus or something
No,
insane.
no, he was just a hiccup guy.
Okay.
Damn.
That's
I've never
really
known
strange.
anybody with Tourette's, but I've always wished that I knew somebody with Tourette's because I'd bring them everywhere and make people feel uncomfortable. Because I love making people feel uncomfortable. And if I had a Tourette's friend, man, nothing makes people more uncomfortable than somebody unfiltered screaming out whatever the fuck the first thought in their brain is.
This person with a disability.
Cody wants to be friends with someone with this disability just to exploit the disability publicly and make other strangers feel weird.
If you want me to exploit your disability, you can find me at
pieceofshit@gmail.com.
No. It's mcodych93 at Gmail. All right, hit me up. We'll make friends.
And by friends, exploiting you.
Yeah, that's what I've said.
This was a good fucking episode. I had a good fucking time.
So, do either of you have anything coming up that you would like to talk about? Or anywhere, any places that people can buy your stuff?
I'm basically right now just like doing digital stuff for the rest of the summer. I'm just like trying to figure out how to use Procreate, how to use Illustrator, and how to work for the thing that I'm doing. Mm-hmm. So I'm taking time off until like August, and then I'm gonna get back in and start doing stuff again. But you can go to my Instagram, NeilToNoOne, and you can go to my website, NeilToNoOne.com, and check out stuff. If you want to buy anything, just go to the website.
Buy it. It's great stuff.
We love you guys. Thanks so much for taking time out of your days to come and talk to us.
Any big projects coming up?
Do what?
Yeah, any big projects coming up?
Shit. I'm just doing the same thing, man. I got just tons of little jobs going on.
Seriously, hit these guys up for some art. Seriously, phenomenal work. Fantastic merchandise as well. Thanks for coming on. You guys are seriously some of the most talented artists in the tri-state for sure. So I really appreciate that you guys come on here.
That's a fact, man.
Seriously, no joke. Seriously, much love, guys. All right, till next time, motherfuckers.
Later.
Deuces.